apologies, guys. Trying to get everything working back correctly here. I had to do some moving around the other day, and whenever I move around my wires and stuff like that, I always have issues. Of course, we missed an opening kickoff like 40 plus yards by Justice Hill, and then Lamar's already in his own head because he's listening to his mama and the media and everyone who criticized him 2 weeks ago for not taking those run attempts as much. And we opened up the game with a fumble. Basically, not a good look. Getting that game cast up for y'all now as we speak. Is it the 175? I think it's the 175 zoom. Maybe 150, and then I need to get my actual game. I hate that this game's on Paramount, and therefore, since I live in Florida, they're, of course, showing not my game, but the Miami Dolphins game. Sorry, let me fix my cropping here a little bit. We want to crop harder on that right. Sorry, New York, I'm cutting out your logo, but I'm cutting out that ad as well. And that should pull more on the left, so we should get a better left. We still need to open up the left crop a little bit so you can see the entire call there, basically. There we go. That's a lot prettier. Sorry, I'm having to fix this as I'm live. I cannot say out loud where I'm going to stream this game, but since CBS doesn't want to show me the Baltimore game, even though I'm paying for Paramount Plus, your boy's going to pirate the game because we an OG and we know exactly where to go and exactly how to get around things correctly. Oh, look at that. We've got theater mode. Thank you. Now, however, I can already tell this is through NFL Plus broadcasting. So we probably will slightly be 40 to 50 seconds behind the game cast and those that are watching the game live. Actually, I need to fix that real quick. Sorry, 1 second. Life hack. If you're on a website and you're streaming the game and the game has a chat of its own, go to your 3 dots, move it into participants instead of chats, and the chaos will stop on the side of your screen, basically. If your site does not allow you to get rid of, the tonight though, guys, or today I should say, I gotta get Streamlabs back up. Thank you, Steve-O, for just Steve-O just being here reminds me to pull up Streamlabs every single time. I'm trying to fix the color of my light. I got like this RGB lighting over here on the side. Me and my girlfriend have matching corner lamp like stands with RGBs, but man, I've hit this button like 50 times. I'm trying to get that white light. Just gives a better. It's funny, it's halftime I have to like change the color of the light to a different color and then it'll like work. Cocksucker. Dude, I'm trying everything. This battery. I will open the betting in just a second. I'm getting there. Man, I'm still waiting on the commercial to come back. I've got it on this like purple pink lighting for my girlfriend when we're sitting here gaming, basically. There we go. Betting is opened. So, Steve, if you want to get that bet, and welcome in, Seth, my boy. And Seth, like I said, it's already part of the problem is Lamar's mom, fans were like, you should have tucked and run the ball. You should have tucked and run the ball all these times. And the Giants were like, he's going to run the ball more this game. Watch. He's going to do it. And we saw them do exactly. Lamar's letting people get in his head. There we go. There's that light. I like the softer light. Yeah, softer light's better. And that's what it's a little frustrating to watch. He's literally let everybody else get in his head. Your mama is your mama. Love her for life. But it doesn't mean you always have to listen. There's a reason you're in the NFL. You know? Oh, I missed it. Do we have I saw Matabike supposed to be in here. Marcus Williams, a healthy scratch. Travis Jones really needed the rest week as well. Yeah, I see Pierce in there at the nose tackle. That's a good sign here for the Ravens. And run up the middle going nowhere, as that's Darius Washington in there first, followed by Malik Harrison. And again, Darius Washington, kind of just like Geno Stone, that guy that just kind of back into the roster, always hustling to the ball, and he's finally getting rewarded with the playing time there. And he's playing pretty dang good. Kyle Hamilton, of course, moving to more of a traditional free safety position on the defense. But of course, NFL, 3rd and 4 here. Big third down. Ravens showing double A gap pressure. Oh, they got like 10 people, 11 people up with yeah. And Travis Jones in pursuit, and this one's just going to the end zone. And so supposedly, for those that don't know, oh, thank you for telling me that, Steve-O. My girlfriend, legitimately, we were talking, and I got to fix everything live here now. I'm going to switch that to a nice blue, and then we're going to go to the score, reset the scores. Thank you for that, Steve-O, by the way. We're actually going to a comedy show tonight as well. So we were supposed to go do Christmas shopping. She wasn't really feeling well. I woke her up at our first time we were supposed to wake up. I said, hey, and King, that's Desmond King, the cornerback edition for the Ravens, making a good punt return here. And Ravens special teams coming out today looking like a different animal. And Lamar going to keep it again. Quarterback keeper going left, and he's going to get out of bounds. Oh, shoves number 30 as he's going out of bounds. And strong move by Lamar, but he's got to be careful because number 30 is going to remember that the next time he's over there by the boundary. So, of course, the Giants team, though, just absolutely beat up. The amount of players that are just out, the IR injuries, no Deontay Banks, no Drew Phillips, no Bobby Okereke, Dexter Lawrence on IR, Andrew Thomas on IR, Tyler Nubin, their second-round pick on IR, Theo Johnson on IR. The Giants, I feel bad for Giants fans. I truly, deep down in my heart, I feel bad for y'all. Even if you win this game, it's not about the game. It's about, the season and how the organization's direction's going. And then, of course, just mostly the injuries. Seth says, I'm happy the Bengals are losing. I know, right? Well, actually, no, they're tied. It's 7-7, technically. Bengals have tied that game up. I've got the NFL Game Sitter over here. Presented by FanDuel. Jacksonville got a 7-0 or 7-6 lead over the Jets. Texans got an early field goal over the Dolphins. And, of course, after some special teams blunders by the Browns, the Chiefs are up 7-0 on the Browns. Little fake jet sweep handoff to Henry going left. Henry got the first down, still going and down at the 3-yard line. First and goal with 5:15 left here in the first. Yeah, tonight we have tickets to go to a comedy club down in Naples. It's like a dinner and comedy club experience. We had thought about going to Kevin Hart because Kevin Hart had scheduled a last-minute show at a big arena near us, and we thought about going. But we settled for like the more small comedy club vibe. And handoff going up the middle, nowhere on the play. Yeah, the comedian we're going to see, I've seen some of his stand-up. I don't know if his stand-up's that good. But he got famous like kind of over COVID and all that with a YouTube series. And then... he had a lot of health issues. He used to be here in Florida, then he moved to California, I think. 2nd and goal. Zay, the man in motion. Little fake roll. And Jackson under pressure, and he's going down. That's a huge sack. That's like a 10-yard sack. And that's Brian Burns, the former Carolina Panther. 3:55 and ticking here. And Harbaugh just looks utterly just lost right there. He looks confused. Let's watch what happens here. Burns matched up on Stanley and just absolutely beats Stanley on the inside move. And then Stanley just sits there, watches, never even runs back after him. Like, 3rd and goal. Big 3rd down here for the Ravens. Ball now on the 13-yard line. So might be a blessing in disguise to space out this defense a little bit. Jackson over the middle. Got Mark Andrews. An easy catch for Mark. Good thread of the needle by Lamar. And that breaks the record for most touchdowns in history, passing Jamal Lewis. I don't have the Ravens towel up technically on the go a little higher. And Tucker for the PAT. Good. Ravens lead 7-0 early, despite having a turnover on their first drive. Oh, man. Your boy is getting bigger. I ain't gonna lie, man. For those that know, I've been going to the gym pretty dang hard. Like, man, I feel like it's almost been getting close to a year now. And of course, at the beginning of my gym journey, I was starting to honestly get really discouraged because I wasn't truly seeing like the results that I was just so used to, being younger, growing up, being more active. And, I was sitting there thinking about it one day and yada, yada, yada. And that's when I realized, of course, I was in such a huge calorie deficit every day just to even maintain the size I was at. So, started focusing. Man, like, your boy's up 10 pounds of muscle. I'm almost back to, like, playing weight numbers. And I'm slowly just pushing more numbers in the gym. I'm not trying to continually push. I'm like, I've got certain goals that I want to have, and then I'm going to stop. Like, when I get my bench, like my rep weight on my bench to 225, 250, my body size, my frame doesn't need to go any higher than that, but that's where I want to be. And, I'm so close. The other day I was doing my bench, and I had the 45s and 10s on each side, because I don't know how much my actual bar weighs technically. I know it can vary between 10 and 25 pounds basically. And then of course it's even Smith, so it's even more cheating in my opinion, so it's less weight, so you got to go over and it's still not quite the same. 45s and 10s easy. I could bang that shit out like 20 easy all day. So, I've been upping it with my 45s and 25s on each side. So what's that? 670 pounds, 140 pounds. Getting there. Still got to add some more weight, though. So, in my last set, I was like, you know what? I felt pretty good rocking out the fucking, 140, 150. I basically just do my weight without the bar since I don't know what the bar is. And so I put the, 245s on each side. I'm like, all right, it's time to start, seeing if I can get closer to that real weight that I want to be at. And honestly, I knocked out 3 or 4 good reps at the end of my workout. And I usually start on my bench, and I actually ended with bench, and I was still able to knock out a good chest day. I was pretty happy about it. But Tucker here with the kick as we're getting back to here for some football. We're going to get a return from the Giants. And he's got some space, bounces outside, and number 81 Devontae Walker makes a shoestring tackle, saves the play right there, honestly. would have been a absolutely huge return by the Giants. And, because we're going to a comedy show tonight, and stuff, not really drinking during the game today, but we are drinking 4 shots of espresso. My perfect recipe, 4 shots of espresso, 2 creamer, and then 3 sugar packets. That's my beautiful blend. You could do it with less sugar too, like 2 and 2. And supposedly the Giants, according to some camp reports, they went like a whole practice session one day where they didn't complete a pass. And by the way, Giants organization, if you're looking to hire, I would love to join you on an internship basis. Just pay for my travel expenses. And run up the middle. That's Tyrone Tracy. And Tavius Robinson with a great tackle from behind, honestly. Great acceleration, honestly. He looked like he was moving a step faster than everyone else on the field right there. And you can go back and find my tweet, on Twitter. I talked about Tyrone Tracy before the draft. And I compared him, it might have been right after the draft. I told a lot of people I thought he looked a lot like Isaiah Pacheco. I felt like he ran like he was angry at the ground, the way his feet would hit the ground when he made his cuts. And he's been a bright spot. And you can go back and ask my boy Sponge, who's in our fantasy leagues. He's one of those guys where I told Sponge at the very beginning of the year, he will win the starting job before the end of the year. I've been on record on so many of my fantasy football shows talking about that from week 1. Same thing with my boy Chase Brown, who was drafted last year in the 5th round by the Cincinnati Bengals. It blew my mind that they just weren't giving him pass reps at the beginning of the season. And then, of course, now he's going out there and putting up, like 40, 50 yards receiving like last week. DeVito, quick pass to the right side, and it would have been picked if it was anywhere near Nabers, as Nate Wiggins and Adarius Washington were all over it. 115, and Malik Nabers has got to be upset here. God, that was bad. And you can see the head coach is absolutely upset right now. DeVito making a change, bringing a running back in. They're making some pass adjustments. Trips right. DeVito staring down right side. He's got a man, though, in the zone coverage, and Ravens try to rip the ball out, not going to get it. Down at the 40-yard line. I think that's of the Ravens, so I think the Giants are across midfield. 16-yard gain for DeVito. The thing is, though, it was a shot, but he stared this down. He never moved his eyes from the start of the snap. If the Ravens make any type of like, hey, guys, just watch his eyes. Just watch his eyes. He doesn't look anybody off. There's going to end this game with a lot of interceptions, but that also, again, means the Ravens have to make the adjustment. Blitz coming from the Ravens. Screen set up right side for the Giants. And Roquan over there with Malik and maybe a gain of 3 or 4 yards. 25 seconds, so that's probably going to roll us to the next quarter here. I don't think the Giants will try to get one off real quick. Yeah, he's still reading his wristband. 15 seconds. Still haven't broken, I don't think. Bryce Young, 7-7 to 42 so far in the Carolina-Dallas game. Having a good day so far. Score update. Titans have scored again. They're now up 14-7 on the Bengals. Let's go, Titans. For 1 week, we're a Titans fan. No. Is Pittsburgh Philly, is that a 4 o'clock game? Under the helmet. Is that you, Carcass? What up, my boy? Man, did anyone see the video footage of supposedly Malik Nabers playing catch with Sanders in New York for the Heisman thing, basically. So Malik Nabers met up with him in New York for the Heisman presentation or ceremony. Oh, I'm getting that stretching. My arms are starting to get big though. Like, no lie, guys. I was talking with a girlfriend. She bought me these shirts not too long ago, and I generally wear an extra large, but because I'm starting to put on so much like chest and like arm size, I'm starting to have to think about buying like double XL shirts. It's a hard life, bro. It's a hard life. See if I'm almost getting there. My arm's almost as big as my head. Not quite yet. I wish I had done like actual measurements. I need to get more cut though. Is my problem. I have no cut, but I have lots of mass. I actually don't even lift my biceps anymore. I haven't lifted biceps in I don't know how long because I've just been working so hard on my triceps. Which my triceps are finally getting there. I'm happy with my triceps. I need to do variations of curls because I need to work different parts of my biceps than the traditional. But the big thing right now is not that, but range of movement exercises. Making sure you have healthy joints. It's one of the most important things. Like, I don't know if y'all seen Alvin Kamara's balance training video? For those that don't know, there's a video out there of Alvin Kamara, and they basically got him like, is it on an exercise ball or some type of device that basically challenges his balance? So he's trying to maintain his balance. He then has like a barbell on his back attached to two reflexive bands where then they hang like weights on the sides, basically on like each side. So he's having to balance these weights while also his balance on the ball. And then his trainer walks around him and basically hits him, gives him contact. So it's balance training through contact, essentially. It actually looks like it would be a very good drill. And little outlet pass to Tracy on the left side. Tavius Robinson out on the outside containment. A good job by I'm seeing good stuff out of Robinson. Now, some of the stuff, like when he made that tackle from behind, he might have had something else where he messed up. But I'm loving the effort I've seen. That was great outside containment by Tavian Robinson on that play. Forced him back into where the help was. Third and 6 here. Owe switching sides here. Little motion from Nabers. DeVito going right over the slant. And almost intercepted as Kyle Hamilton on the robber was looking for it. And he might be just short here. But lucky the receiver didn't get his head taken off. If Ray Lewis was still on this defense, that wide receiver would be still down, I'm going to be honest with you. Marlon and Hamilton laid a hammer on him. Let's not get it twisted. Oh, and it looks like the Giants didn't get there. They went for it on fourth, and multiple Ravens showing that they're short, and side judges are marking him short. And there's a former Raven, Ulamanor, the left tackle now for the Giants, actually dapping up Marlon Humphrey and showing him some love as 72, the former Raven, is walking off the field early after showing Marlon some love. He knows what type of game's coming. I hate to be that person. As much as I got love for former Ravens, you can't do that right there. You just failed on fourth down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, going over there, now's not the time to dap up and go show the love. Be like, you could chirp at me like, yeah, yo, Marlon, I want to see you after the game. Like, but that just like looks bad, man. That looks not like you're not out there to be competitive for your team in a sense. And maybe I'm going too far. Ooh, did the stream get taken down? I think my where I was watching the game might have got taken down. Let's see, we got to go see if we can find something else real quick. One moment here. This is one I used to use a lot. Yep, they're up. And they could have gone for the field goal like they're saying there. 13:48 left here in the second quarter. DeVito, rough one, my guy, rough one. Ravens get started here from the 30-yard line. Makes an adjustment. Ricard motioning into the backfield, power I formation. Little play action. Good pocket for Lamar, going right side to Andrews, and falling down makes the catch for a first down. 12-yard gain for a mark. And there's Mark on just that classic crosser, basically. Yep. That's an easy one. Ball on the 41. Handoff, going off left guard, and pretty good gain. Looks like maybe 4 or 5 yards. And now, of course, coming into this game, New York's run defense, of course, with all like Dexter Lawrence being out. Oh, went down again. They must be going hard today. Ranked 29th in the run defense. So, you know, you gotta. And we've got the first flag here on the Ravens. Bro, they're going after some of these streams today. Like, I'm almost out of espresso, guys. I'm not gonna lie. That is so sad. That is so sad. Let's see here. Yeah, that was technically a false start on Linderbaum. That's the correct call. That's twice Linderbaum actually now in like 2 games worth of. It's been 3 weeks technically, but you know, I think he got called on that before actually. A little bit of motion here from Isaiah Likely. Lamar looking left, going there to Likely. Makes he did make the first man miss. I thought he was gonna make the first man miss. I thought the guy had the tackle, and then Likely kind of ducks and yanks basically away from the tackle, able to get away and actually gains the first down. And that's again why they went and got that CCU man right there. A little bit of Hyde has to jump and make the catch, and then makes the first man miss with a little bit of quickness and power. He's a great addition, man. Like, I was so happy when they got him. So happy. It was like when they got Lorenzo Taliaferro a few years ago. Oh, and Henry went down awkwardly. Hopefully it wasn't, he just lost his footing. And I know a lot of people really do not like this stadium here. Is this MetLife technically? And like they're talking about right now, another thing that everyone's been talking about, these teams have 3 games in like 11 days, including one on Christmas. It's Pittsburgh, Houston, Cleveland for Baltimore, and Pittsburgh has Baltimore, Kansas City, Cincinnati. And we're hoping Cincinnati's going to ruin Pittsburgh's year a little bit on weeks 18. Lamar rolling out right, buying time, going deep down the right sideline, got a wide open man. That's Bateman, makes first man miss, second man miss, and he's in for a touchdown. Touchdown, Ravens. 44-yard touchdown throw. And let's see here. So, Giants show like their D-line slid to the left side of the Ravens. Lamar's just going to roll away from it here and just buy some time as Bateman just gets separation downfield, and then Lamar just drops it into him. Bateman does the rest, making a few men miss to get in. 2 rushes, 3 passes for 70 yards as Tucker... Good for the PAT. He started pulling a little left, but it's good. It's good. Lamar, 7 out of 7 for 107 yards. I like that play call, too, because I think Justice Hill was coming cross formation there. Basically, it can serve as a lead blocker for Lamar, as well as like the super quick outlet pass that basically can challenge a high-low concept. So what was beautiful about that, like I said, so Lamar's rolling right. Justice Hill, it looked like he started left to right. You just see him sweeping out of the formation right. I'd have to go back and watch it again. But again, so if Lamar decides to keep this, or if there's a cornerback blitz or someone coming from the edge, Justice Hill can eat that. Hey, Corbin, thanks for the subscription, my boy. Appreciate you. And again, so even if the blitz gets by Hill quickly, Lamar then has that potential, and we've seen Lamar do it plenty of times, that quick little sidearm, get it around him, because Lamar can fake that tuck that I'm going to cut you inside, which then they have to respect that, break down, and when they break down or jump for it, Lamar can get it around. But anyway, so it serves as the quick outlet pass. But let's say this, that there's a safety, because of course if a corner's coming on that, hey, what up, Get Own Kid? Y'all are beating the Giants. Settle down. I know. Like, I don't know if you were here earlier. We were just talking about it. Giants are ranked 29th in run defense. Supposedly had practice reports coming out earlier this week that they went entire practice sessions without completing a pass, like 0-17 or 0-12 or something like that. But the play design is what we like. So again, if the cornerback is coming on that blitz, the safety, of course, is more than likely going to slide down there to take it, which, of course, if there's a quick outlet pass, there's a small chance that whoever the outlet pass is just going to get decapitated, essentially. We see that happen all the time as well. But that's why I referenced the high-low concept, because, of course, if he's having to come down, then what you do is it's kind of almost like a flood concept. So you run that low, you're going to run someone behind that basically. And then of course, Bateman showing there the deep side. So you have about like 4 layers probably minimum on that play, including Lamar, technically 4, and you might be able to work a 5th into there somewhere. But I did like the play design call. Got to be a little careful on it, and I don't know if I truly saw the layer on the, 3rd level technically of a 4-level play, or 4th. But I think Bateman's technically the 4th of that. But in the 3rd level, I'm not sure. Hill I'm considering the 2nd, and Lamar, I always consider the 1st level to play. And, good return here up to the 33-yard line, but we've got a flag on the play. I know. Y'all got a hard schedule coming up for Pittsburgh, honestly. You know what? I'm going to go grab a drink real quick while they're calling this penalty before we get started. All right, sorry. So we got the Ravens koozie helmet. We're going to take a little Coca-Cola, slide that on in there. I love this thing, and you grab it by the face mask. Because there's so many face mask penalties in the NFL this year. If you're drinking one with the boys, cheers. Wow, Tommy DeVito holds the longest streak without an interception in the Giants' history with 178 pass attempts. I don't know how to feel about that. That's sad, kind of. 2nd and 7 here. Giants showing a strong left formation. Let's see if he stares this down. Blitz coming up the middle. Picked up well by the Giants O-line. DeVito going left side to Nabers, and Nabers making a toe tap circus-style catch. Not a bad ball, but great blocking there actually by the Giants O-line, picking up this blitz up the middle here. And Nabers working in the slot here, just a little, I think that's called a rolled out, might be a soft, I forgot what they call that corner where you cut it short. But basically, heading for the sideline, little out corner, something like that over there on the left sideline. Great route, gets good separation, and a great catch. DeVito now 6 of 9 for 44 yards. Tight end motions right. DeVito looks right, goes back left. It's like he heard me talking smack about him, not looking off people. That or he's got coaches actually coaching him in his ear. But honestly, the Giants have made some great adjustments so far. They're making adjustments for what the Ravens are doing pressure-wise. The Ravens have been showing A-gap pressure from the very beginning of the game. You can see the O-line's made a couple adjustments. You can see DeVito is letting the O-line take care, I think, of their pass protections, kind of like Jason Kelce used to do at the beginning of Jalen Hurts' career in Philadelphia. I think even like Lamar might have had the O-line do it at the beginning of the career, but not positive on that. And Van Noy and Pierce on the tackle, run going left, and it's going to be 3rd down here for the Giants. 8:30 and ticking here in the second quarter. And at least they're showing what I was just talking about earlier. Here's the footage, guys. If you're watching the game, Shedeur Sanders playing catch with Malik Nabers in New York, as Shedeur was there for the Heisman presentation, basically, or whatever, the ceremony. So are the Giants going to try to trade the barn for that pick? Only time will tell. Chase Brown, 5 rushes for 25 yards. And we've got a flag here. It's going to be on Brandon Stevens, and he doesn't even realize the flag's there. Yeah, he's just realizing. I think this is going to be on Brandon Stevens. Let's see. Oh, no, it's on Marlon. They didn't even show him in the review. They just assumed it was on Brandon Stevens like me and just showed Brandon Stevens from the very get-go. That's hilarious. And Brandon was playing on Malik Nabers and had dang good coverage on him. Damn good coverage. And that's a holding call on Marlon. So automatic 1st down. And for the, of course, like they're saying, Ravens are the most penalized team in the NFL right now. Oh, do I got to refresh the page here? Try to go back to my original stream. Well, I'm about to say I'm trying to get my stream back up here. Seems like I'm having some type of issue. I don't know what the issue is. Almost seems like it's my PC. Just based off how things are loading. With all my hard work, I think I let Little Wayne down, whatever, though. My heel is, for those that don't, hold on, we'll get back to it. Hold on, the game. I just got my game back. We'll talk more after the games are on commercial. DeVito, short pass to Nabers on the left side, little curl route it looked like, and going to bring him to 3rd and short with 6:35. 5 catches now from Malik Nabers. Man, the stream went down again, bro. They just like following me, basically. The bots. No, I don't want to go to that one. Let's try this one. Yeah, this one's better protected. Let's go to this one. Give me one moment. I'm working through the security procedures here for this stream. They protect their stuff a little better. And short on the run now. Going to be another 4th down here for the Giants. Down 14. You got to think Dabble's going to probably go for it here. Oh, my God, dude. My stuff got... Okay. I thought it was froze up again. And 2 extra offensive linemen have checked into the game, I think, for the Giants. And now they run Nabers and Robinson back on the field. So they went from heavy personnel back to a pass set. So I think they're going to pass it. They're almost out of time, though. 3 seconds on the play clock. DeVito's got to get this ball off. It's probably going left. They roll that way. The ball's going that way. And caught by Robinson, and he's got the 1st down as Hamilton makes a great play on the ball, but Robinson with a great catch. And ballsy play there. Roll in the pocket to one side. And I'm just again surprised how everyone knew where the play was going. Everyone and their mama knew where the play was going there, and we still didn't make the play, really? Like, you probably could have just sat in a zone on that side and destroyed that play. Like, just sat in a zone, playing the short ball, playing the flood concept and rolling the coverages. You know, because DeVito's not going to throw that ball 40 yards back shoulder. Oh, and Kyle Van Noy's got the sack. And we've got a flag, but I think Oweh, I see him on the ground. Hopefully he's just slow, you know. And we've got a flag. Let's see what it is. And we've got an illegal shift on the defense, but this is going to probably be declined by the Ravens, resulting in a sack for Kyle Van Noy. And penalty on Wan'Dale Robinson. So the guy that just made the heroic catch for the first down now credited with the penalty, but wouldn't have mattered much. Second and 17 after the sack. Ball on the 41. I'm sorry. No, I'm line 36. And DeVito looking left side. Chris Board coverage and misses his man. And we've got a flag where DeVito got hit. Might have a late hit on the quarterback by the Ravens. And we do roughing the passer. Who's that on? Oh, that's on Madubuike. Nnamdi. And it's because technically he falls yeah, and technically he drives him into the ground. Nah, dude, that's I understand why they called the penalty, but that's one of those penalties I do dislike. I mean, what do you want him to do there, man? Like, what do you want him to do? Ravens bring a blitz. DeVito going to throw this thing up, and great coverage by Brandon Stephens as Nabers wants a flag, and he's going to get it. That's a garbage flag, too. That hand fighting all the way. He's watching the ball. He plays the ball. Like, let's watch. Dude, they hand fight like that in every single play. And it's not fully extended. And he even hits the ball before Nabers. He's playing the ball. You can't ask him to play almost any better coverage than that. Like, I'm just like, I understand why he threw it because there was contact after 3 yards, technically. But, like, Harbaugh is living right now, and he has every right to be living. This is one of those ones where people who didn't watch this game and they read an internet article are going to criticize Brandon Stephens, and I don't care what any single one of those sports writers say, and you can put that on my record. Tyrone Tracy, and he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and goal. You can put it on the record. I ain't never given up on Brandon Stephens. Brandon Stephens, I've been yelling for you to be a Pro Bowler for years, bro. You play tough, nitty-gritty, hard-nosed football. I don't care what nobody say about you, Brandon. As Mark Ingram say, catch me outside the bank. 3:30 left here in the second quarter. DeVito looks right, pulls it back. He's going to try to run with it, and he's going to get sacked here. Michael Pierce, and I think Ojabo might get credit for the sack as well. I'm guessing great coverage on the right side, though. I wish I could see the coverage that made him pull this ball back down because he wanted to sling this, but he pulled it back, and Pierce, Ojabo, and someone else there to get him. And what's the good, my boy David, already getting ready with that game, and I see you got your bet in. I actually haven't even got my own bet in yet. 3rd and goal here. Ball on the 5. Strong right for the Giants. DeVito looks over the middle, looks right. He's trying to get out of there, and he's going to get sacked on the play. Michael Pierce had him first, and then Broderick Washington and Owe finished the play, but we've got another flag down as the flags continue to rain. It's not raining water in MetLife, ladies and gentlemen. It's raining yellow flags. As illegal hands to the face by Odafe Owe, another penalty on the Ravens, and that's going to probably, and if I'm not mistaken, that's an automatic first down, so 1st and goal. Let's watch. I mean, yep, that is a correct call. He's got his fingers in the face mask, like he's touching his beard in the inside of his face mask. And yes, that is the correct call. Always upset about it, but that is the correct call. And his head is straight back, and they're circling. Got a one-on-one with Malik Nabers and Tyrone Tracy on the inside. He's got the touchdown. And barring the PAT, the Giants are with. Oh, that's Singletary. Actually, that's dirty, bro. They really gave it a Singletary there. Dirty. They did Tyrone Tracy dirty there. But good run by Singletary to get the touchdown. No disrespect by any means. Let's be honest. Let's get this bet in real quick. Exclamation point bet Ravens, and we bet in the house. I think I can bet 100,000. Oh, it asked me if I wanted. And Gano, the former Raven, hooks left, but he's good. So with 2:15, we've got a 14-7 ball game. Baltimore leads by 1 score. And Baltimore will basically get a 2-minute drill to start the game, which is absolutely great. Let's see what's going on around in the NFL. Ooh, Hainer getting the start for the Saints. 1 of 3 for 29 yards. Of course, Lamar 7 of 7 for 107 yards in our game. 2 touchdowns. Bateman leads the Ravens receivers with 49 yards and a touchdown. Come on. Cycle me, NFL Game Center. Cycle me, homie. Oh, Nico Collins just got himself a touchdown for the Houston Texans. Titans still lead the Bengals 14-7 with 8:25 left in that game. Burrow's got an interception. Chase Brown doing all right. Will Levis 5 of 6 for 66 yards. Pollard 7 rushes for 27 yards. Bengal fans got to feel bad for them too. It's been hard to watch. Their offense plays great, and then their defense and just the game in general, and playing the Chiefs, it'd be like that sometimes. And oh my God, Trey Hendrickson just with the strip sack on Levis. That was clowny-ish. I wish they would show a replay again. That Trey Hendrickson, an absolute monster, showing why he's worth every dollar they signed him for, to be honest with you. Yeah, and that was a strip sack on Levis. Destroyed him, bro. Here we go. Let's watch this again. Trey Hendrickson, no one goes with him. It's a quarterback keeper going right, basically. The left tackle's pulling on the play. The split back block never sees Hendrickson coming, never picks him up, just runs by him. It's either the tight end or the halfback coming on the split back, basically. And Hendrickson, like I said, clownish, almost destroys Levis in the ball. I mean, that actually might not be a fumble. Looks like he might have been down on the ground when the ball came out. I think they're going to give it to the Bengals, but that's going to be... Dang, Baker Mayfield has a 70.2 point completion percentage this year. 3rd highest in the NFL. That means there are 3 people completing more, or 2 other people completing more than 70% of their passes. I'm so excited for Philadelphia and the Steelers. Let's go, Eagles. And like Seth says in the chat, Ravens really got to stop the penalties. We are the most penalized team in the NFL. And I don't know, man. Who do you put responsibility on that for? And again, what a travesty. There are 2 4:00 games that are so much better than the Monday night. I think because we have 2 Monday night games this week, and the Monday night games are garbage. Buffalo and Detroit is a 4 o'clock game. Are you serious? By the way, update. Cowboys are up 10-0 on the Carolina Panthers. Jaguars up 10-7 on the Jets. And Houston has a 10-3 lead over the Miami Dolphins. And of course, Jaden Daniels is obliterating the Saints 14-0. And Cleveland still unable to score against the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs lead 7-0 halfway through the second quarter. Whoa! Yeah, I'm excited. We're going to see a comedy show tonight. Comedy show and dinner. Like I said, we could have gone and seen Kevin Hart. He had a show here. What was it, Tuesday? Or no, it is this Tuesday. The 17th, he's got a show at the Hertz Arena. We thought about buying tickets to. It was a last-minute show he added. I'll have to check a couple things. Zay Flowers, the man in motion here. Ravens basically going to get a 2-minute drill after the first play. Screenplay to Hill. Ravens got 3 relief blockers. First down and some, and pushed out of bounds, but not till after a 15-yard gain. And clock's still running because it doesn't stop till the 2. But that's basically going to bring the Ravens to the 2-minute warning. So Ravens have all 3 timeouts in great position here. And really want to see how the Ravens operate in this 2-minute drill. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry, I'm writing down different game notes for stuff like talking about already putting out a spot for this 2-minute drill. I got a spot talking about again on that fail where the Giants got the fourth down conversion on the pass left to Wan'Dale Robinson, where again it was after they tried to go heavy, switch the wide receivers back out. It was like almost obvious where that ball was going in a sense. I'm making a note about the flags, how I really didn't like the Namde or Brandon Stevens flags. While like I slightly understand from an NFL rule perspective. And fun thing, like talk about like NFL. Let's see, I should slide the other way. I got a hat back there actually. Hold on. Some souvenirs of my times. So this is actually a hat directly from the NFL, like an actual NFL official hat. Before they switched over their supplier. And actually, I got this. Let me make sure I got the numbers covered here. I don't want anyone to get their numbers. Actually, I need to put another sticky note on that just in case. I don't want either of those phone numbers being shown. We can show the address of the NFL office and all that. But let's see if it'll focus on it. So this is the business card of Ron Hill, the former vice president of football and operations for the National Football League. I met him in the airlines. They were doing an NFL Play 60 event. They brought a lot of golf bags. They were doing some golfing as well. I met him, really nice guy. He gave me his business card, and he was like, shoot me an email, and I'll send you something. And I hear this all the time in the airlines. Legit. This showed up at my door, like, I don't know how many months later. But legitimately, he sent me an actual, like, thank you gift and everything, and, like, just for being a fan of the NFL. And it was during the NFL lockout, actually, when I met him. So, of course, the NFL was dealing with a lot of PR issues and stuff, and it spoke volumes about the man he was, and like how he approached business, and I support him. And then, of course, one of my tenures, I was one of the charter coordinators for the University of Arkansas for a while for the Razorbacks. So I actually met the guy who does the charter coordination for Delta for the Baltimore Ravens. God, I've got his business card up there too, actually. how much I would love to work for him. 2nd and 10. Lamar, Bateman, and with a catch, first down for Bateman as the Ravens are approaching midfield. Ball there at about the 45-yard line. And Ravens operating here. No huddle. Little pump fake right. Lamar rolling out left, buying time. Going back to the right, still buying. Oh, and he's going to run it after a Ravens O-lineman just crushes somebody. He's still going. And down at the field goal target line, got a gain of I don't even know how many yards. That is 21 yards. 108 as I think Baltimore should use that first timeout. This is where you should use the first timeout, Harbaugh. This is where they should use the first timeout. But Lamar's going to run the no huddle. Got a man on the right side. That's likely, and he's getting pushed out of bounds with 52 seconds. And that's going to stop the clock here. So 52 seconds. Ravens make a substitution. Therefore, the Giants will as well. Hopefully, it doesn't come back to haunt us. I don't think it will, honestly. Just it's based on the game and everything. And look at Linderbaum out there still throwing blocks downfield. Love the effort I'm seeing today by the Ravens O-line. Again, it is the Giants. They are decimated by injuries right now, but, you know. And I think the Giants just took a timeout here. And they did. So. Oh, man, I'll give you a fun story. When I was doing the charter coordinator services for my my station, so like what it is like this. There's a charter coordinator at the stations that they land at. They act between liaisons between the station and the charter coordinator that actually is like with the team, that is actually assigned to that team, that does all of their travels. And then that person then is the direct communications to the person who handles all the team's travel, basically. So, you know, that's like our network of communication. But so when I would work my charter flights, we flew in LSU, Auburn, USC, aka South Carolina, and Tennessee. Which, by the way, Tennessee was by far the most friendly, true Southern gentleman, like the guy that ran it all, and like, oh my God, like I have a Tennessee shirt from the University of Tennessee guy. He gave to me as a gift. I told him, you know, I was from South Carolina, you know, growing up, and I was really excited, you know, to see him and all this stuff and yada yada yada. Anyway, though, so when I would work these flights, I still have to work those charter flights. Like, you know, when LSU lands, I have to get all of their stuff off. You know, on the private, I have to take a team away from my regular normal side of the airport, take them to the private side of the airport and work that flight, basically. Which, you know, a lot of times finding employees to take extra shifts like that, not easy. So the one bonus, though, that I always had, and I told my employees this, I get paid enough money. I'm not like struggling. I'm on salary. I'm not struggling to buy my food and stuff. While, you know, like some of my employees got a bunch of kids, you know, they're struggling to feed their families. Like Delta would okay us to basically everything that was on that plane had to go after the plane was gone. So all the sandwiches, all the drinks, every Gatorade, if they didn't use it, it was gone, basically. And they didn't want it because it basically, if they didn't do it there, they had to do it when they got to the next place. And it was more work on them and a tighter connection. So it actually helps for us if we just help them clear. So I would tell my employees, here's the deal, man. If you work the charter, between y'all, take whatever you want. And my employees would walk away with like 100 plus Gatorades, 100 plus bags of chips, tons of like, you know, sandwiches and lunch meats and all this, you know, juices. And I would just yep, take it, man, take them. And they're like, yo, thank you. This feeds us for like a week. This is like, I don't have to spend $100 on the grocery store for like, you know, our juices, Gatorade, chips, stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, do it, man. I wish I could give you money, to be honest with you, but this is about the best I can offer to you. You know, that's 100% by the books and not going to get anybody in trouble. And I just would, like I said, I actually did a couple where I had to go to a different airport because they didn't have a ground security coordinator to clear them, basically. And I had to drive to another private airport across town to actually do one of the University of Arkansas's basketball teams. They fly out on much smaller planes. The SEC and football teams, they fly giant like 757s, no. What do they fly? MD-88s? No. God, I'm trying to remember what they brought them in on. They did need stairs, so it was a higher clearance aircraft. Either way, they private either like part of the Delta fleet privately, and they're nice planes. They keep good care of them. Let's say Lamar going to keep it going left, got the first down, and smartly gets out of bounds. 40 seconds left, but Ravens get a fresh set of downs. What up, Rouge Davati? What up, my boy? How you doing today? Ugh. I'm excited to go see this comedian tonight. Like I said, he's not, supposedly his stand-up might not be that good, but he's pretty funny, so I'm excited. Lamar sets up a quick screen to Justice Hill, and only a gain of 1 as number 41 of the Giants sniffs it out quickly. And Ravens probably should use a timeout. I think they did. The clock's not running, so yeah, Ravens use the timeout. I don't really like that play call. And if you're going to run that play call, you run it like boom, 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 boom. Like you're like, hey, we're running like several plays now. Seth says Casey is up 14-0. I'm not truly surprised, it's KC and Cleveland, like the one I'm really Tennessee was up 14-7 on Cincinnati. I'm still waiting for the commercial to end over here. But I tell you, it was wild when I got to see like some of these SEC teams. I'm telling you the difference in size. Like, what was it? Like LSU, bro, and boys were big. The average size of their player was like my size. I never felt so tiny. Whereas, like, I'm not gonna lie, Auburn, you could definitely see the size difference, and especially in skilled players. Like, you can see that speed focus. Lamar going deep left, Bateman, and he beats his man. What a catch by Bateman in the left corner. Touchdown, Ravens. And barring the PAT, Ravens now back up 2 scores. What a strike. And outstretched back corner, 1 foot, 2 foot. That's a catch. And, for those that be hating on Bateman, everyone knows, just like Brandon Stevens, I've been telling people, Bateman, just relax. Y'all be hating on Bateman too much. Y'all just be hating on Bateman. That kid is humble. That kid's hardworking. I don't care what any of y'all say. Again, just like the Brandon Stevens things, I'll fight with any reporter, any sports writer that wants to talk about them or say that they're playing a certain way. Just like Bateman here. We having a lot of reasons to play that Bateman meme today. Now, again, Raven fans, even though we're hyped right now and we're celebrating, please, though, you do have to take that deep breath, inhale that fresh Maryland Bay air. Hopefully it smells of salt and crabs and not in a bad way. But, Giants, no Deontay Banks, no Drew Phillips today, no Bobby Okereke, no Dexter Lawrence, no Andrew Thomas, no Tyler Nubin, no Theo Johnson. Like that's just like the tip of the iceberg for them. Like so while we are really happy and super excited and celebrating and showing love, also again, deep breaths. Because if you've been here and you've been with our channel for a while, you'll know this. We keep things realistic. Just like when we were on certain hot stretches earlier in the season. Like I explained, hey, we played Dallas. They're the absolute worst run defense in the NFL and absolutely abysmal on defense right now. Hey, when we played Buffalo, they were ranked 28th or 29th in the NFL in run defense. It didn't go well. Or, for them. But, and then when we finally started playing teams that were a little higher up on that run defense ranking, of course, things changed dramatically. And we struggled against those teams. Also, the big thing that the Ravens have struggled against in this season has just been dominant inside rushers. Max Crosby, despite being on the edge, he pulls inside a lot, and he wreaked havoc just across our entire right side of the line, which early season, a lot of communication issues, still didn't have the starting personnel set. Chris Jones, beginning of the season, Kansas City. Now, again, kind of the same argument. Beginning of the season, not the starting O-line, yada, yada, yada. But we saw it with Jalen Carter last week against the Eagles. He created a lot of issues for us. The Steelers gave us a little bit of issues as well. Ravens have got to make sure that they ain't got to worry about fixing it right now because we're going to be in the playoffs. I don't care if we just get into the wild card in the playoffs at this point. Of course, I would love to win the division and secure some home field advantage. But it's more about making the playoffs and having a plan set to get to the Super Bowl. It's all about making a plan to get through 3 games to get to the Super Bowl. And then the Super Bowl, you have 2 weeks to install whatever the heck you want to install. You know what I'm saying? But you have to have a serious game plan set for 3 games minimum to get through the playoffs. You have to, you got to be playing chess when other teams are playing checkers. It's okay to show weakness and then have a game plan ready for it in the playoffs that you didn't show in the regular season. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. If you feel what I'm saying, Ravens staff that listens to me every once in a while, that has me on in a booth somewhere. It ain't about the battle, it's about the war. Like, who was on the Ravens that said, hey, when we meet them again in the playoffs after that KC loss, it ain't going like this. Like, it might have been Lamar. But keep that energy in your heart, Lamar, or whoever said it, Ravens flock, basically, because I agree with you. That's the energy I feel. And that's sad that Max is getting surgery on his knee. I feel bad for him, man. He, in my opinion, he's like almost like Joe. What was it? Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas from the Cleveland Browns, who played left tackle them for fucking forever. And I think DeVito is getting evaluated for a concussion, I think. So what up, Ryzen Rhino? How you doing today? And man, they don't know who's going to play quarterback for the Giants after halftime. And with that, we're going into halftime, ladies and gentlemen. What a game so far. Like, poor Giants fans. Like, and what up, Ryzen Rhino? How y'all doing today, this Sunday? I hope all y'all are having a wonderful Cameron, Ryzen Rhino, Giants fan. Hey, Giants fan, tune in my off season. So for those that don't know, your boy is a lover of the draft. I've always loved the draft. When I was in high school, I left Disney World on my grad night trip to go back to my hotel to watch the 2008 draft, where, of course, we took Joe Flacco in the first round, Ray Rice in the second round. Was it Dixon and Pitta after that? No. Anyway. But in the offseason, one of the things that I do is called the off-season plan, where I put on my GM cap and I do cap work, trade work, cuts, free agents, and also basically prepare the team's plan for the draft going forward. I've done, of course, I do the Ravens the past 2 years. I've done the Packers. I've done the Bengals. I've done, I think, the Bears maybe. I've done a couple different teams. And I really am planning to try to do more teams this year. I'm thinking about the Broncos. I'm really thinking about the Giants because I'm actually going to apply for a Giants position here. For those that don't know, I applied for coaching internships with the Colts last year. I've put my resume into the Baltimore Ravens multiple times. Honestly, if you don't know the story of uh, our GM put in so many letters to different teams trying to become a GM and like a scout. And he keeps all his rejection letters in a drawer, basically, at his desk, like as a reminder. And they showed this on like one of the specials for our team. And it's like one of those ones. It's like, what do I have to lose by sending my resume to these teams? It's half the reason I've been doing my draft specials these past few years. And my draft specials have been nail on the head. I accurately and almost 100% predicted the Ronnie Stanley contract rework before it happened, before anyone wrote about it, and then like a week later it happened. Like, it's just one of those ones. So I'm thinking about doing the Giants fans. So check back in the offseason for my segment called the Offseason Plan. I'm more than likely going to do the Giants because for my professional career, I don't like an easy job. If I'm going to take over something and take leadership of something, I want to be able to really build my system from the ground up to bring in the type of people that I want to bring in and foster a certain type of culture and cohesiveness of my team, or AKA my locker room. And when I was in the airlines, I told that to my regional manager early and often. I said, here's the deal. If my next promotion was to be a station manager, meaning I'm responsible for anything and everything Delta does at that airport. And I told her, if I take a station manager job, I want something at the bottom of the barrel that's performing. But I also want the clearance to come in and basically say I'm allowed to clear house, in a sense. Because I know that can be hard on places, but that's also the airline life. They do contract takeovers all the time in clear house. And it's just one of those ones. I'm not saying I'm coming in and firing everyone, but I'm coming in and I'm making evaluations pretty quickly on my observations. Or I'm making observations and acting on my observations rather quickly, in a certain sense. I don't care how great of a worker you are. If you come into every day with a horrible attitude, I'll find somebody else that's happy. I shouldn't say happy to be there, but like, and again, it's on the boss to foster the work environment that keeps their employees happy. And I think a lot of managers don't step up to the mantle of leadership that they are supposed to as a leader. You are responsible for everything your team does and fails to do. Oh, man, I keep hiring these people and they're quitting on me left and right. Maybe you should. I used to tell this to upper senior level leaderships that I would talk to. If you have a manager and they have a high, a turnover rate, you need to be looking at that manager immediately. Like, people don't leave jobs often because of the company. They leave companies due to their immediate leadership or management, usually. Their most direct and most often communicated or talked to management is generally where they're... By the way, Falele was the one on the blindside block for the Ravens earlier where I was like, yo, someone just leveled someone when Lamar rolled back right. Falele. Thank you, Daniel Falele, for finally doing what I've wanted him to do for so many games. Put your hands on somebody. And what up, Kayshawn? And I appreciate you, Steve, Nevins, Lou, everyone who came in there with the raid. Cowboys and Panthers is so close. 10-6. Ooh, good game. And see, they're literally talking right now. Ryan Clark is on, or whoever that is. I'm sorry, that's not Ryan Clark. I'm so sorry. But he said, you heard Lamar. His mama said he got to run more. He got to run more. And you can see it. He's running more. We have spent so much of this season working on his passing. And while, of course, yes, running is okay, don't worry about it till the playoffs, Lamar. Do you in the playoffs, homie. But like case in point, first thing you did when they ran is they went for the fumble, man. They looking for it. Like, you're kind of playing into people's hands when people know that if they say something critically of you in the public, that you will try to make a statement. Who was the famous running back that went to Oklahoma and he wouldn't stop listening to his opponent's taunts, basically, and ended up basically getting himself hurt with a really bad concussion that ended up destroying his career? Oh my God, what is that running back's name? It's going to drive me nuts now. They did a whole NFL 32 for 32 on him too, like a whole special on him. Marcus Dupree? Yeah, Marcus Dupree. That's who I'm thinking of. I think was it Texas that was taunting him or somebody? And yeah, they might have to start Tim Boyle, Seth, because DeVito getting evaluated for concussion, supposedly. Absolutely rough. And again, Ravens have 3 games in 11 days, including Christmas against the Houston Texans. I think, is it at Houston or is it in Baltimore? Dexter. So does anyone know why Dexter got weird? For those that don't know, they're showing a Dexter commercial. Wow, so I'm going to talk about it while we're still on break. Dexter got weird because the dude that was playing Dexter, of course, and he had his sister in the show, actually started dating and married the dude who was playing his sister in the show. Which is even more reason why there was this super awkward energy, brother sister sexual tension vibe that they were doing, and it was so fucking weird. But then why it got even worse is supposedly towards the end of the thing, I think they got divorced or separated. So then you could literally tell that tension. And I feel like the scenes, I felt like it was just such a weird thing. I feel like it ruined it. And then they're still trying to bring it back. And I feel like just trying to set it up for a spinoff. And it definitely was a weird situation over there. Jaguars are up 13-7 right now. Bengals now, they're up 21-14. They might have just got an interception. Houston taking on Miami. Let's see here. Little fake toss left. Oh, and Tua picked off over the middle. 20 seconds. Is it going to be a pick six? It looks like it is. 20, 15, 10. Oh, he's tackled at the 5-yard line with 13 seconds. Does Houston capitalize and score again on Miami? Oh, and look at Mike McDaniels. He is deflated right now. Let's watch here. God. So center sitting safety and Tua what was Tua thinking on that throw? That was bad. They literally just... It looked like he never even saw that safety just sitting. The safety never even moved on the play. That was wild. I mean, maybe because the Houston Texans, their jerseys matched, but that's Kalen Bullock, the safety out of USC that they drafted, I think, the 3rd round. Oh, let's see how we're doing in fantasy football. I don't think I can even get in the playoffs, sadly. And you got to love, even the wife of our GM, one of her first tweets out of the game. Lamar listening to his mom, exclamation point with some hearts. Again, don't be so easily influenced by outside sources because it can then lead to you falling right into. Seth said, when the Giants start Drew Lock, he don't do anything. Drew probably going to pull Deontay and Devondre Campbell and be like, nah, I'm not going in. Which, again, I would not blame Drew Lock for in the slightest. Because, again, he went there. He signed there with probably certain promises. He was looking for a chance to probably win the starting job. And then the Giants were like, no, the owner wants to tank. We've got to start DeVito. And he looked at them like, are you serious right now? And that's also probably why Malik Nabers was even more upset. Like, which again, I don't blame Malik Nabers. Like, dude's been a pro. I understand his frustration. Any player on any pro organization that has done the things the Giants have done the past few seasons and have performed the way the Giants have performed over the past few seasons, even in his first year, there's no way he would not be upset. Like, boy, be promising transactions and even bitcoins. I don't fuck. Sorry, I be bumping GNX so hard, man. A couple of the whacked out my mural, squabble up, turn the TV off. Heart Part 6, like K Dot's version, like legitimately all part of my workout playlist. Like, and for those that don't know, I've joked about on our Wednesday and Friday shows, your boy sliced his heel open. When GNX first came out, you know, I was just sitting there drinking coffee, had my Bluetooth headphones in. Your boy was two-stepping, listening to some GNX, just having some fun. But my kitchen's really tight, man, and the back of my heel caught like the bottom of one of my counters. So when I like lifted my heel up and then, you know, moved, it just sliced the back of my heel. I'm talking like I probably could have needed stitches almost, but yeah, you know, we just I was like, oh, we're just gonna cut some of this bad dead skin off, slap some antibiotic on it. Actually, at first I had to like legitimately gauze and wrap it because and it bled through all the gauze, bled through my bandage. I had to switch out my bandage for another one. Finally was able to get the bleeding to stop. Like, it's been almost 3 weeks. But of course I changed my bandages, you know, kind of check on it, you know, make sure it's clean, and it's almost been 3 weeks and my ankle is still not 100% healed. Like, hurts a little bit, you know, like when I put a shoe on and try to walk. And Giants going to get the ball to start the second half. No return here. They're going to talk to Harbaugh here. Seth says, my kitchen is big. Yeah, we switched our apartments. We traded kitchen space and size for a much larger living room and dining room, as well as instead of doing like a third smaller bedroom, we expanded our second bedroom, which we use as like an office and computer room. So, which is of course the room that we're in now. And it just had legitimately, we were like, you know, this setup's probably better for the stream, basically. I forgot to put my towel back up on the door behind me. Kyle Hamilton coming on the blitz and able to get rid of it as Kyle Hamilton, I thought would have jumped and got it maybe, but goes easy on the quarterback there a little bit. I'm just one of those dudes too. I went from my junior year of high school, I was like 5'5", 5'6" maybe, and 160 pounds. I was kind of short and just like very stout, you know, almost a little tubby, to be honest with you. And then over one summer going into my junior year, I jumped to 6'2" and 190. So I put on 8 to 9 inches of height and 30 pounds of muscle over one summer, basically. And of course, I didn't even realize it because I was just working constantly. And only thing I realized that my jeans were like getting really short and just like not covering my ankles. But of course, that really messed up my knees and everything. But also with that, I also have like almost like size 14 feet, like 13 to 14 feet. So with the quick growth in my size and the big feet, Oh my God, dude. There was a period in my life I broke my toes left and right just smacking my feet on stuff. And Ravens bring some pressure, got a flag, probably going to be a hold. And Nabers with a corner route got a good catch, but I think this is going to be a hold against the Giants. Oh, it's an illegal shift. That's another one. And it's actually on Nabers who caught the ball. And the offensive coordinator looks like confused talking with the ref. I mean, yeah. And I think he's saying that there wasn't a motion over there, so it shouldn't have been a penalty, but who knows on that. 13:44 here in the third quarter. And like I said, negates a 20-yard catch. Little swing pass to the halfback, and I think that's Singletary there with the catch. And it was. The biggest thing in the house is the basement. Oh, yeah, I bet. Man, in the South, we live in the South. You can't have basements. That or basements are very rare. And false start here on the Giants. Ravens are screaming for it. Yeah, in the South, man, you can't have basements. You can't dig down and you'll hit water, basically. And that's Evan Neal, the tackle for the Giants with the false start. And, yep, that was absolutely a false start over there. He tried so hard back like he didn't move. He's like, eh. I didn't move. What are you talking about? And Boyle is in there, so no DeVito anymore. And, oh, Brandon Stevens messed up his coverage there, I think, a little bit. And, yeah, throws it on a cover two to that outside corner. Oh, excuse me. Giants got to get the ball off. Little jet sweep here. And Tracy got a gain of maybe 4 yards on the play. 2nd and 6. Yep, and officially DeVito is ruled out of the game. So Giants just running out of quarterbacks now even. Poor Jaguars, too. Their season's done. Evan Ingram's gone. And Malik Nabers is now slow to get up. Seems like he has a potentially right leg injury. Let's watch after the play. Oh, he got kicked by his own teammate. After Roquan and someone kind of a little bit into it, and got that. Just that kind of sums up what the Giants have been. Literally, shot my own foot. Shot my foot, and I'm to blame. The Giants give NFL teams a bad name. They cut their QB. All right, enough of my bad improv singing. Nobody's here to listen to that. Oh, gosh, excuse me. Whew, stretching out that back feels like, you know that like at school, leaning over the back of your chair, cracking your back. Oh, it just hits differently. Yeah, Jags are not making the playoffs. I mean, there's a lot of teams that just Jaguars season blew up, which I mean, I didn't have a lot of faith in Jaguars organization. Jets team blew up. That's an owner issue. 49ers kind of blew up a little bit. Mike McDaniel, I mean, Mike McDaniels in Seattle, not Josh. Mike McDaniels, I thought was going to have a better year. Now that they've got Ernest Jones from Tennessee, they're playing a lot better. Josh McDaniels, oh my God, I'm losing my mind. Too many. Ignore me. Mike McDonald, Josh. Mike, oh my God. Mike McDonald, Mike Daniels. Who? Mike Jones. Sorry. Losing my mind, guys. Don't worry about me. Oh, I'm losing my mind, though. Hey, Chase Brown got 14.6 points already for the Bengals. Let's go. Oh, the Jags player. Was that a defensive tackle just did a backflip? He almost didn't land it. Ledbetten. He just did a backflip to celebrate after, I'm guessing, sacking Aaron Rodgers, and he almost didn't land it. I mean, man, look at him. Work through the double team, get out there to the outside, and shoestring Rodgers. Yeah, he's going to do a backflip here. That's probably a 300-pound man doing a backflip right there. Minimum probably 295. That is impressive. You can't even be. Let's see here. Bengals now up 24-14 over Tennessee. Kansas City went into halftime with that 14-0 lead over Cleveland. Washington's back in the third quarter with the Saints 14-0. Texans have a narrow lead here as they're getting started in the third quarter over Miami Dolphins 13-6. Here comes the Giants, handoff up the middle and nowhere this time. 11:25 and ticking and third down for the Giants. They need this one. And definitely I feel like having Michael Pierce in the middle of this defense has been a big boon for the Ravens defense. 3rd and 5 officially. Let's see what the Giants come out formation-wise. Nabers lining up here at the X. Strong right formation. They've constantly gone at Nabers, though. Got a man up there. Jams across the line for the Ravens. Looks like man with one safety high. Twin stack right. Boyle looking there, throws it up, and Marlin almost had an interception. Ball thrown behind the receiver, and Marlin just playing such good coverage that even he couldn't get back up far enough for it. Marlin had a better chance of catching that ball than the Giants wide receiver did, to be honest with you, it looked like. And like they're showing, Boyle getting hit by 3 guys as he's getting rid of that ball. Punter out here for the Giants. Ball on the 45-yard line. So this should be one that gets put back in the corner, but let's see how the punter does. Got a lot of time to punt. Fair catch called for. And ball at the 14, maybe 13-yard line. That's Desmond King. As the Ravens, with a 21-7 lead, will get started with 10:39 left in the third. Got the lucky ball. It's the Baltimore fight song, for those that don't know. The ball's got a little thing in it, so every time it impacts, it has a touchdown Ravens. Here we go, Ravens. Here we go. And then, of course, as the Baltimore fight song, it's actually a pretty cool little gift that I got a long time ago. I'll be so sad when the batteries die because I don't think, it doesn't have a zipper. So if the battery ever dies, I might have to actually undo the stitching on the bottom right there. And then, which you can see, I feel like it's definitely got different stitching there than everywhere else. That's got to be probably where you go in and put the battery. I mean, you probably could open up the top where the tag was, but because there's 2 holes there, you could probably just cut it. Oh, is that Jalen Coker with a long touchdown for the Panthers? Jalen Coker. For those that don't know, Jalen Coker was one of those guys I added in my draft special purely based off how I saw him operate at the combine, how he responded to coaching, his route running. And then, of course, I did a little research into him. And, of course, went undrafted, and now he's one of the star finds for the Carolina Panthers. And again, not every receiver has to run a 4.4. If I remember, he ran 4.5. If I'm gonna be honest, every position, in my opinion, does almost have again, every player is different, but most position groups, I have ranges where I cut off. Like, hey man, if you can't get me the minimum of this speed, again, this is like top 1% to 2% of all college athletes. So like for receivers, I'm looking like 4.75. Like, case in point, I ran a 4.7. I ran a 4.7 for a semi-pro team that I went out and played for and tried out for. I was not weightlifting. I was not conditioning and running. I was literally just throwing bags as a ramp agent for the airlines. I had about 6'3", 229 approximately. Went out there and ran a 4.7 flat. So I expect my receivers to be able to run a 4.7 minimum. And Henry running right, bouncing off some people, and nowhere on the play. Maybe a yard, half a yard. And Stroman, a little slow to get up here. And he's staying down. I think he's got a concussion. The way he tried to get up and was like holding his head like, oh no. Yeah, he comes in low, takes a thigh to the head of Henry, maybe a knee, and you can see he's feeling it. And like they're saying, already have so many injuries to the secondary coming into the game and now losing another corner. Giants might have to forfeit, not have enough players here soon. Like, Derrick Henry just looked right before the play, and the play went to the right. Not a good sign. Henry, though, making something out of it, was stopped originally at the line of scrimmage or just past it, but a lot of effort to keep his feet going and ends up with a great gain. Yeah, he's hit basically at the line of scrimmage, bounces off, rides through it, gets 3 yards, bounces off another guy, and then finally the third or fourth guy hits him out of bounds, but not after a gain of 9. 3rd and 1, Henry bounces off another man and up the middle, but if that had been a better tackle or a bigger guy, that would have been a tackle for a loss for the Ravens there. So Brian Burns, the man who missed the tackle, as he comes off limping now. Man, the injuries are mounting for the Giants. I feel like some of these players might be thinking about their future seasons. Oh, yeah, I'm hurt. Yeah, my knee's tweaked, man. I'm just not, But maybe not, you never want to really insinuate that. And miscommunication here for the Giants. They're moving around. Brings a blitz. Got Zay Flowers on the left side, and gain what looks like to be 7 yards here. Should be 2nd and I believe 3 with 8:50 and ticking here in the third. So just about halfway through the third quarter, Baltimore still has a 2-score lead. Officially 2nd and 3, by the way, so correct on all that. What up, Arush? Isaiah Likely not in line, but he's very close to the formation on the line of scrimmage. Fake to Justice Hill, quarterback keeper left. Lamar gets around to the edge and tackled out of bounds, but not till after he gets a first down. And Lamar knew if he got past him, he'd had a huge gain. Huge gain. Yeah, Lamar almost did, but we're doing good. But, again, we're doing good, but this is and again, Giant fans, I do apologize, but this is not a good football team. This is an injured football team. This is a team that has had a lot of mismanagement issues throughout the season and off-season, of course, which I don't think a lot of Giants fans would really disagree with me on that. So it's like, while I'm really ecstatic to see a lot of the Ravens doing well, I'm also tempering my expectations. And oh my God, that's what you were talking about, Arush. Oh my God, that just came on my screen. Oh my God. Oh, that was so bad. That was such an underthrown ball. That was so underthrown. And there's a double move by Bateman, a little corner post. It might just be a go, but the way he ran the route, he's doing it. And Giants almost had an interception there. Lamar underthrowing Bateman on that throw. And that's where I teach people, man. I know Lamar usually does miss a little too far, but I'd rather you miss long than short. Giants bring a blitz. Ravens, and again, another tight thrown ball as Tylan Wallace, though, makes a great catch as Stroman Jr. back in the game. For the Giants. That's a good sign to see for them. But, oh my God, Arush. Again, I'm watching this. I'm just mad. This game is on CBS, but because I'm not in Baltimore, I'm down in Florida. They're showing the Miami game, not the Baltimore game. So even though I'm paying for Paramount Plus to try to watch NFL games, I can't watch the game that I want to watch, even though they have the broadcasting rights to it. Suck it, CBS. So I'm pirating this game, which is through NFL Plus as well, which puts this game about 50 seconds or so usually behind local broadcasts. So if I'm behind everyone, that's why. So when you said the almost pick, I was wondering, I'm like, what are you talking about, Arush? And then boom, it happened. I was like, oh my God, that was. All right, back to the game though. 6:25 here. Ravens have a fresh set of downs after gaining, get the third down conversion. Let's see. And they're showing basically, usually his yards per rushing for Derrick Henry go up later in the year because that's just his running style. He runs super hard, and as the bruises and the toll of the season accumulate, that's where his conditioning starts to set in more, and he's still ready to hit people while other people are like, yo, my shoulder a little messed up after like last week, when I hit that dude on the crosser on my fire zone. Oh, you're in Texas. What up, Arush? So you're probably dealing with the same. You probably got the Houston game on or something like that down there. Henry now 12 attempts for 53 yards, averaging 4.4 yards a rush so far today. Zay, the man in motion. Handoff going right. That's Hill. And again, Ravens. I do like that the Ravens are finally. It's like the Ravens actually sometimes do listen to my broadcast. I swear, and I do be tweeting out at Lacey DaCosta every while. I'll be like, please listen to my broadcast and just tell John Harbaugh what I'm saying. I know someone in the booth that might be listening, but I said everyone and their mama knows if the Ravens run, they're running left, and I've seen a very concentrated effort from the Ravens to run to the right side, even when it's not successful. They've done more runs in the inside, which I've been critical of them, and I appreciate them doing it, trying it, even if it's not successful. It's important. I used to have to explain that to my mom. Lamar going over the middle, got Zay, and spin move makes a man miss, and he's tackled just short. And that's going to be a 3rd and 1. Aza said, damn, I was caught up in work. Glad to see we are putting on a show. We are, Aza. We're playing pretty good. Now, of course, again, it is the Giants. We have to temper our expectations. They have tons of injuries. They're the Giants. They've been badly run this year, just like the Jets. But, again, it's always good to see that winning, playing good football, finally not seeing, the penalties in the second half. Little fake roll right. Jackson going deep and wide open. That looked like Devontae Walker. Toe tap. Touchdown. The rookie from UNC. And barring the PAT, this will be a 28-7 game Ravens. What's funny is I had a Devontae Walker gif at one point. But I think because he wasn't getting snaps, I didn't load it into OBS when I reinstalled. Let me see here. Let's see if I can find this. OBS GIFs. Walker. Do I have another Devontae? Duvernay. I'm trying to remember where it's at. I'm about to say I have a Devontae Walker GIF somewhere that I picked up. Washington's. My girlfriend's trying to make a smoothie right now. I can hear. Bang, though. I told people I thought Devontae Walker was going to be our Torrey Smith this year, and he wasn't getting the reps. And like case in point, when we saw Deontay, like I know he was dealing with like Devontae Walker has so much potential for Ravens flock. I know we haven't seen him much this year, but he made a great tackle on special teams earlier. He just made a touchdown catch. Like you can go back on my record on Devontae Walker. I thought he had a lot of Torrey Smith potential. For those that don't know, Devontae Walker was absolutely monstrous deep game for UNC and Drake May last year at Carolina. He actually, I think, missed like the first 6 games of the NCAA season because the NCAA was kind of just honestly being dicks about his transfer. If I'm not mistaken, was really the story. So he put up incredible numbers, even in limited games. And then he also had great targets deep, had one of the best contested catch rates deep as well. So the Ravens saw really good hands, really good ability to stretch the field while also having a bigger frame. Not one of those, I think he's a 4-5 guy, just like my boy Jalen Coker. He's 4-2, 4-3, even a 4-4 guy. And these guys can make it work, so really excited to see. Take your soul. So I'm guessing Derrick Henry not getting a touchdown. It's not looking like it, man. At least not today, but if you've got him on your fantasy football team, we'll hope and pray for you. Take your soul says 0.5 and I went over. Azo said, I was not aware of their situation, but at the same time, we have a tendency of losing. Yeah, so let me break it down, Azo. Deontay Banks, who's been playing great at cornerback for them, not in today. Drew Phillips, one of the steals of the draft, the 3rd-round corner from Kentucky, been playing outstanding. He's not there. So basically without their top 2 corners. No Bobby Okereke, who last year was one of the number 1 tacklers in the NFL. No Dexter Lawrence, who's like one of their starting stud defensive tackles. Andrew Thomas, their starting left tackle, I think went down to IR this season. Theo Thompson, who was their starting tight end after Darren Waller abruptly retired before the end of the season, on IR. Tyler Nubin, their 2nd-round pick out of Minnesota, the safety, on IR. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Then, of course, the whole Dan Jones drama. Tommy DeVito, concussion, the quarterback that started today, now out. So now they're on technically QB4 because they're not going to put Drew Lock in. Bro, I feel like I said, I almost feel bad for Giants fans deeply and respectfully because I love Malik Nabers. I've respected some of the things the Giants owners have actually said over the years about protecting their quarterback. But yeah. Giants guy, the Ravens are pretenders up and down. You don't know again a Sunday. And that's what I'm saying, Giants fans, man. Like I'm saying, man, your team is beat up right now. Anyone that doesn't know about the GM stories, like that one guy in the GM who's like, are you sure no one's going to give Barkley that money? Like the one guy of reason in that Giants GM room that tried to speak up and nobody would listen to him. So I feel for you, Giants guy. And Giants guy, hit that subscribe button because I do a series in the offseason called The Offseason Plan where I put on my cap as a GM, not only for the Ravens, but for other teams. And I go through over the cap and I work through the cap. I work through who we're cutting, who we're trading, free agent signings, basically getting the team in the best place it can be before the draft to then execute a good draft strategy. Because if you don't know me, the draft's where I love. So make sure you come back, my boy. I feel for you deep in my soul, Giants fan. Like I said, I'm trying to temper the expectations for those that are watching. So, and I appreciate you, Donna. I try my best. Oh, and Tracy drops the pass. Giants fan, you can go back. Ask my boy Sponge. Ask anyone that's in my fantasy football league. I told everybody from week 1 before the season even started. I said Tyrone Tracy Jr. will take the job from Devin Singletary before the end of the season. And I told everyone to mark my words, just like Chase Brown in Cincinnati. Told everyone. I thought both of them were going to take their jobs. I'll take credit where credit's due. Smitty Diallo says, can we do it? You know, every team's got their issues, Giants guy. Like, oh, deep right, and oh, great catch. That's Wan'Dale Robinson, and Roquan makes the tackle. And Giants showing signs of life. It ain't over. But, you know, the miscommunication issues of the Ravens early. The amount of times, like Marcus Williams, we're benching healthy starters because I don't know why. We have this thing in Baltimore called Harbaugh's Doghouse. The offensive line issues, which we talked about a lot in the offseason, that there could be that issue. Because we're like, while we expect them to be good, we used to tell Ravens flock, we have to temper our expectations because while we expect them to be good, it is still an unknown. And of course, that played out beautifully in the beginning of the season. Every Ravens fan was upset about it. But if you were a fan of here on the channel, subscriber, you knew it was a possibility. And pass to the tight end and down past the 30-yard line, looks like tackled at maybe the 27, 28-yard line. And the Giants are approaching the red zone here with 2:45 left in the third quarter. And Roquan lost his man on the crosser. That's absolutely on Roquan. But at the same time in this offseason, if you're subscribed to the channel, I also said this has the potential to be the best and most talented Ravens team we've had since that Super Bowl run. Which, of course, I truly do still believe that in a sense. But it's about it. This ain't tennis. This ain't, wrestling. This is not a one-on-one sport. This is a team sport. And as Ray Lewis once said, put on a smile. It's a 60-minute ball game. Boyle deep drop, and Roquan makes a good play on the ball over the middle as Boyle's getting pressured, had to get the ball off. And 2nd and 10 here for the Giants. Azo said, no, Ravens are an 8-5 team. No, Ravens are an 8-5 team right now. If we make it into playoffs, it will be a crawl. And when we get there, it will be a coin flip whether or not we choke. I've said it from the get-go. It's on Harbaugh. No matter what, every time we talk about the playoffs, I have one saying, 6 rushing attempts. Doesn't matter how good our players are if the coaching staff does not put them in the position to win the game. 6 rushing attempts last year against KC. 6. Against a team that was not ranked good against the run defense that year. And that was my argument. As Marquise Brown once said, what's the point of having soldiers if you don't use them? Azo said, and that's not got nothing to do with talent. Just seems like a bunch of talent that isn't on the same page. And that's what I'm saying, Azo. Hey, me and Azo, we on the same page here. Like, same page, bro. And that's what I said. Every time anyone talks about playoff, they'll say something about Lamar, and my only answer, 6 rushing attempts. 6 rushing attempts. Like, but, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be absolutely, what's the word I'm looking for? Delusional. As we got a false start here on the Giants, so back them up 5 yards. I'm going to be delusional. I've called Harbaugh and the coaching staff out for different time management situations. I've tweeted out at Lacey DeCosta, the wife of Eric DeCosta, our GM, who's a wonderful person, by the way. Wonderful person. She engages with our fan base. Like, I don't know if there's any other, wife of a GM in the NFL like her. So, Ravens flock, truly blessed. Go find her on Twitter. But, and I'll make my critiques. And some of the critiques I've made, I swear to God, the Ravens do make the adjustments finally. But it's one of those ones where I preach all the time. If I can see it, guys, and I can talk about it, if I see it live and I'm screaming for the timeout or I'm screaming for the adjustment, I expect the NFL people and the people we're hiring. And again, the thing that pissed me off last year is John Harbaugh said, no, we didn't mess up the KC game. That's just how games go. Then he goes to hire Jared Rosenberg back as our former special teams coach to be a game management and time management coach. Of course, it falls through. Everyone talks about it. Then it goes away. Then John Harbaugh openly talks about how basically the coaching staff let the team down and didn't do what they were supposed to do, basically, to win that game, And then I'm like, John, you lied to us, and now you're telling us the truth. And while I do like that you came out and finally took accountability for what the coaching staff did in that game, I also don't like how when it first happened, you denied all accountability for it. That's not what leaders do. So it's why I'm so hot and cold on Harbaugh, because again, he'll do something and I'm like, that's not what leaders do, Harbaugh. You messed that up. That is on the coaching staff. And then, like I said, he'll deny it. And then like 6 months later, we'll hear him take accountability for it. And this is unfortunate. We've got a flag on Brandon Stevens covering Malik Nabers. Ball now on the 5-yard line. That one was a little more deserved, honestly. Singletary, the run up the middle, and 2 yards on the game. And ball came out late, but he was definitely down, so ain't too worried about it. And we're 40 seconds away here from the start of the fourth quarter. Giants fan, if you're still there, you think your boy's taking Shador? You think you're going to add Sanders? Because, of course, they even showed it here. We talked about it, and then later the broadcast showed about it. Sanders there for the Heisman ceremony, playing some catch with Malik Nabers out in the street in New York, And Giants looks like they might try to get a snap off here before the end of the quarter. They will. They're going to roll this out right, and this ball's way out of bounds. Nate Wiggins in coverage this time against Malik Nabers. And I think Nate's trying to say that Malik's flopping. He's still waving off Malik. So Nate Wiggins kind of talking some smack to Malik Nabers, saying he's trying to flop and get a flag there. And yeah, Nate's not even near him. That ball's so far out of bounds. He's like, yeah, you playing, bro. And look at Nate's like, come on. Look at him. Look at him. Nate over there talking so much smack to Malik Nabers. 3rd and goal. We've got Malik versus Nate. 1 versus 2 down at the bottom of your screen again. Let's see if he goes there. Boyle looking there. Goes right after him. And, incomplete as Nate Wiggins makes a play on Malik. He says, boy, I'll back up that talk. But close call. Kyle Hamilton over there to dap up Nate. Let's watch the replay. Just trying to throw a little back shoulder fade, and Malik does a good job, but Nate just plays it patiently, and then plays the ball as Malik's trying to catch it. Great job by Nate Wiggins. Definitely, there's no way that they're not going to go for the touchdown here. It's that type of game. They need some type of momentum shift for the Giants. They're down, 3 scores now, if I'm not mistaken. I absolutely expect them to go for it here on 4th down as we enter, of course, the 4th quarter. Yeah, me and my girlfriend tonight, we're going to see a comedian, actually, like a dinner comedy show called, what's his name? Ben Brennard. He used to do a YouTube series called The Table on Facebook and YouTube and all that. So we're pretty excited to go see him, Like I said, I've heard that his actual stand-up's not that good. But at the same time, it's just a fun thing to get out of the house, go have fun with the girlfriend, holiday season. Again, I could have gone and seen Kevin Hart. But I chose to go to the small club and go see support the small guy trying to make his dreams come true. I've seen too, man. They just booked someone over there at the Barbara Mann Theater too. There's a lot of comedy acts getting ready coming down here to Florida. Mon 2 times. You think Mark Andrews is going to get another catch? I mean, considering that the Ravens are up heavy right now, 3 scores entering the 4th quarter, he might, but I think it's more likely that Likely is going to see some snaps. Maybe try to get some practice reps for another tight end because, with the Kolar injury. And I think we're going to see a very heavy dose of running the football. If Mark Andrews gets a catch, it's more than likely going to be like on a 3rd down type of thing. And hopefully you're not riding a bet on an over-under of him catching balls. If you are, you got my prayers, bro. Take another sip out of my Coke, sit in my Ravens koozie. I was honestly thinking about doing a giveaway here soon, at the end of the season. I've got this really cool. It's hard to see with the glare, but you can kind of see it there. I've got a Crown Royal flask. It's a leather-wrapped flask with Crown Royal on it. And then right now, Crown Royal actually has the NFL edition bags that are in purple. So it's a purple NFL Crown Royal bag that I would then put the leather-wrapped Crown Royal flask in. So I'm thinking about doing it as a giveaway here at the end of the season. Hey, Azo, member for 11 months. When does my 12th month kick in? It tells you right there, bro. You're right there. Oh, it was intercepted. Did he catch it? I think it hit the ground. Marlon had it. Marlon almost had 2 interceptions this game and dropped. That's rough, bro. It's got to be soon, Azo. It's got to be soon. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what your thing evolves into. Oh, and our Darius Washington took the pick away from Marlon. Marlon had it, and then Darius tried to grab it. Marlon says, I took his over at 35.5 before the game. I should have just took his touchdown. Oh, that's... I mean, there's still 15 minutes left to play, and it has been a very big target in this game, so, you can't say no to it. Hey, it's my boy Payo time. For those that don't know, Payo time, the Canadian Rams fan. He's a Rams fan from Canada that does content creation, of course, for the LA Rams fan base. We did a preview show with Payo. Was it last year or 2 years ago when the Rams and Ravens played, and Tylan Wallace, of course, ended up taking that punt return for the touchdown, which basically sealed the game for the Ravens in overtime. Which was just so funny because I literally told Payo in our preview show that week, I looked at Payo, I said, man, Tylan's going to be returning. I think we're in tune for a big special teams play. And then boom, it happened. Like, what up, ES? Payo says, K, hot take. If you are playing a team that has Tim Boyle at QB, all your points are worth half. Thanks. You're not wrong, though. And Payo, we've been talking about it since the beginning of the show. Not only, of course, the quarterback situation in New York, but, no Deontay Banks, no Drew Phillips, no Bobby Okereke, no Dexter Lawrence, no Andrew Thomas, no Theo Johnson, no Tyler. This is a decimated, depreciated, depressed, and dysfunctional team in New York. And they're not the only one that labels themselves as a New York team that is dysfunctional, if you catch my drift. Poor Giants and Jets fans. Even though the Jets currently are winning 17-16 over the Jaguars. They just started the fourth quarter, by the way. Update, by the way, also, Cowboys up 24-7 over the Carolina Panthers. Texans still holding on to a good lead over the Dolphins, 20-6. And the Bengals continue to extend their lead just like the Chiefs over their opponents. Bengals and Chiefs lead their games over the Titans and Browns, respectively. Bengals 31-14, Chiefs 21-0 over the Browns. So Browns getting shut out today at home. I'm sure the brown paper bags are out in Cleveland. And for those that don't know, the Browns supposedly confirmed, I believe, that they are sticking with Deshaun Watson next season, and they are still throwing their support behind Deshaun Watson. So turnover down here for the Ravens after the failed fourth down catch. Ball on the 2 for the Ravens, and we got a flag on the play. Think this is going to be a false start on the Ravens, so ball's going to be on the 1. And yeah, Payo, the Giants are in a bad shape. The Giants are going to be one of the teams absolutely for sure that I focus or do an offseason plan on once free agency opens, basically. And I'm not going to lie, the Giants are one of the teams that I am going to submit a resume and a cover letter to here shortly in the before the offseason starts. Like we talked about it earlier in the show, I've applied for the Ravens. I've applied for the Giants. I've applied actually for the Dolphins and the Buccaneers in non-football related jobs, actually. I might actually have an in with the Miami Dolphins, a guy that does equipment management, actually, which I'm super stoked for. I got to go meet my gym buddy later this week and talk to him about it. I applied for a coaching internship with the Colts last year as well. I don't want to go to a team that's good. As much as I would love, of course, to be a part of the Baltimore Ravens organization, if I go to a team, I want a team that's a dumpster fire. And I'm sorry, but if you're finished that with 2 to 4 wins, you're a dumpster fire. I want a team that needs help, that wants to make that change and turn around their season. 2nd and 11, ball in the 1.5. Lamar looking left, going there, and got a man, Zay on a corner route, and that's a first down. Ball at the, they mark him a yard short. They're saying 17. He was definitely at the 18. But we're definitely going to be doing the Giants as part of the offseason plan. We might do the Cowboys, the 49ers, of course, the Ravens. I usually do the Packers just because, I'm like, Grossi, come rate my plan for your Packers. Oh, the Browns finally scored? Good for them. With 3:40 left in the third. And there's Derrick Henry off the left side, and there's another first down. That looked like a 14-yard gain. Peo says, oh, yeah, you're applying to work for the NFL teams? I pray for it. Man, like I said, that's one of, deep down pipeline delusional dreams, guys. And there's a few reasons why we started the channel. We started the channel mostly to help people because we want to be able to help people, and it takes a platform and money to do. The second reason, we would love to work for an NFL team as a scout. I've always loved the draft. I left Disney World to go watch the draft. It's one of those ones. Jackson going off the right side, and Nagalore with an acrobatic catch. And down at what looks like, is that the 50? No, that's the 45-yard line of the Giants, so across the 50. And so, of course, that's also why, we've done draft specials the past 2 years. We do off-season plans. Basically, for so many years, I loved the draft. I would talk about the draft with my friends, and I would make all these calls that ended up being so good and finding so many gems in the draft, but of course, it wasn't on record. So, you can say what you want, but until it's on record, till you got it on paper, nothing you can say. So part of that was I started doing my draft specials just in that sense to put my record on, or put it on record. You know what I'm saying? And if you go back and watch my 2 last draft specials, which we actually do reviews of the draft specials as well, but it's better to watch the initial draft special because we're talking way more in depth at the time about everything. Because just because someone's not on my draft special doesn't mean I didn't love them. My draft specials only focus on 3rd round and later picks, or predicted to be. That's where you build your team, 3rd round and later. I don't care about 1st round, 2nd picks. Those are more secure. You spend a ton of time and effort into those picks. Oh, and Jackson's pass deflected, I guess. But 3rd and 10 here for the Ravens. Might see a Mark Andrews catch, actually. Yes, sir, says here for the Ravens rundown. It's been a crazy game, man. Special teams for the Ravens, punt return and kick return, has definitely looked a lot better. The run game's looking pretty good. Lamar is keeping the ball more. The penalties, definitely got to get rid of these penalties before playoffs. Monken's had some pretty good play calls, but again, it is a team that's defeated and deflated in the New York Giants. So, Peo. We're going to talk about that in just a sec. Hold on. 3rd and 10. Lamar going to an outlet pass, got a blocker, and he's got the first down, still going, and tackled at the 30-yard line. Peo says, can I get your opinion? How impressive is that Buchslimer's won the start? So guess what, Peo? Guess who is featured on my draft special this year for interior offensive linemen? And I only feature 5 guys that I predict at each position group that I think will go for 3rd round or later. Peo, I hate to say it, I knew he was a good player. He can play center and guard. He might actually be a better guard than center, but either way, I really, like in my draft special, you can go back and watch it. I talk about how I loved his versatility, his ability to play all the positions, the intelligence it takes to do so, and he is a big guy. His run blocking, I think in college, was some of the best run blocking. He had issues in pass protection, but of course, there's a lot of factors that go into that, yada, yada, yada. So, Peo, I've loved him, man. I loved him. He's one of those guys. Anyone that I feature on my draft special, I view as a starter player in the NFL that can be inside a top 60 or top 32, basically. And when you go back and watch my specials, I'm like, checkbox, 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 checkbox. I mean, go back and look at my running back room for 2 years ago. My running back room from not this past year, but the year before that. Devon Achane, Keaton Mitchell, Tank Bigsby, Tyjae Spears. Evan Hull is one of the few guys I've kind of missed on, but I wasn't sure if Jonathan Taylor was actually going to re-sign with them, you know? Oh, my stream cut out. 1 second. Hold on. Try to get my stream back up here. But yeah, like, you know what, Peo? Hold on. I'll pull it up, actually. I've just got to... Let me pull up. I do PowerPoint presentations, so I can keep them all, too. Let me see. 24 draft special offense. And, like, I explained to people, too, while these are just 5 guys, like case point running backs, and there were a ton of running backs I loved in this past draft. And it all depends, of course, how the board falls. Every draft is different. Just because I love a player doesn't mean I would draft them in the 3rd round. You know what I'm saying? So let me see here. My offensive line group breaking down between interior and basically I did interior and versus. So offensive tackles, Patrick Paul, Dominique Puny, Christian Jones, Javon Foster, Delmar Glaze. Christian Jones went to IR. Puny is playing outstanding for the 49ers. Patrick Paul went super high, I think, to, was it Green Bay? Javon Foster, I can't remember what happened. Delmar Glaze is actually starting, I think, for the Raiders. Interior offensive line, we have Cooper Beebe, who's starting for the Dallas Cowboys. Mason McCormick, who I think is starting for the Steelers. Tanner Bortolini, who I think is starting somewhere. Bukes Limmer, who, of course, is starting for y'all. And then I tried to take some Matt Lee, who's starting somewhere as well. And then Jalen Sundell is. So basically almost all my interior offensive linemen for my draft special are starting at this minute in the NFL somewhere. I did 6 interior offensive linemen. No, actually, I'm sorry. I did do a 7 because I looked at an FCS guy that I don't think got drafted named Donnie Ventrelli. But yeah, almost all my starting interior offensive linemen are starting in the NFL right now. Some of my position groups, though, I did try to find guys that were lower than that, you know, because my first draft special, I felt I had too many guys going 3rd, and I wanted to find guys deeper in the draft, you know. So I believe Mark Andrews is still in it, so. Oh, man. You know what's funny, Peo? We actually went and got some Missions barbecue the other day. It's funny. I'm that guy. I wear purple and I wear my Ravens hat like everywhere. People in town know me because I'm just a big 6'3" ginger that wears purple proudly everywhere he goes. So, dude, like everywhere, when I go to Publix, I get stopped 5 times minimum by workers and just like these old dudes that I see there. And they always just want to talk football with me because they know I'll talk any team with them, basically. And I give respect where respect's due. I'm never going to be like, you know, you're not going to catch me sitting here talking smack and shit about the Steelers. You know what I'm saying? Because they good team. They playing well. They deserve respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think a lot of people like that in a sense. Same thing every time I go to Missions Barbecue, I get all these looks because like a moment I walk in, there's this dude. Where is he from? It's not Spain. He's from Morocco. And so every time I see him when I walk into the barbecue place, he's like the manager and he hits me. He's like, hey, and I'm all the way from the door. Hey, I've only known this dude because I just go get barbecue so much, but it's just pretty funny, you know? And just like that, the Jaguars take the lead. Brian Thomas Jr., the 1st round pick, scores for Jacksonville. And just like that, Jacksonville now leads the Jets. And I'm sorry, back to the game here. 3rd and 1 for the Giants. Big 3rd down here. Ravens got 5 at the line. Little play action, no pressure here. All day going deep, and Wandale had it. And then he comes down awkwardly as he lands, but unable to come up with the ball. 4th and 1. I mean, with 9:29, you got to think the Giants are just like, fuck it, I'm going for it, right? Like, and, that's unfortunate. Wandale had a chance. Comes down pretty hard on his right hip, looks like. Yeah, complete weight comes down on his right hip. I know, yeah, he's over on the side, still wincing. I know that hurts, man. He's going to have a huge bruise there tomorrow. And just like we said, Giants come out here, power formation, extra offensive lineman with a full. It's Wildcat with a fullback in there. Tracy Jr. going to keep it, and got there just by a couple inches. So first down here for the Giants, ball on the 41-yard line of there. So 9 yards till midfield, 59 to the end zone. Payo says, love that you're talking about the Rams Center during your game. Hey, man, like I said, while of course I'm a Ravens fan, I'm a fan of the NFL. And again, for those that don't know, I grew up playing against Hunter Renfro. I played a little bit of semi-pro football. Tyler Thigpen, the former Kansas City quarterback and Miami Dolphin quarterback, used to play in our flag football league. I am the same height. I have almost every measurement the same as Kyle Van Noy. I am the same height, weight, arm measurement, 40 time, everything is Kyle Van Noy. I've been working back out. I ain't gonna lie, Kyle Van Noy inspired me to get back into the gym. And even though I know I'll never play another snap of football, inspired me to get back into football shape, and I kind of am almost back there. Toss play going right, cuts back, and Singletary got a gain what looks like maybe 4 or 5. Donna says, read what I wrote you a little earlier. Let me see. Scroll back up. Donna says, I'm a 23-year-old TV sportscaster. You would be an asset to any team. Apply to every team. Just get in. Apply to college teams as well. Get there. You know, it's funny, Donna. I even applied to be the Everglades. There's a hockey team near me. I even applied for theirs. I was like, I'm not really big on hockey, but I am very confident in my ability to learn almost anything quickly. And my enthusiasm, especially once I sign a contract, your boy turns into a different animal. I will admit, and I think almost anyone struggles with this, self-motivating, especially when there's not like a lot of money or anything on the line, is definitely takes a lot more effort. But when I sign a contract to do a job, I'm one of those people, I have a hard time not caring about my job, even when I'm not at work, because I don't like being bad at jobs. If I'm being paid to do something, I take it as a professional. But that's super cool, Donna. Donna, if you're a Ravens fan, you probably know the story of Eric DeCosta, where he applied for all these jobs and he keeps all the denial letters in his drawer. And that's one of my stories. And, they're going deep down the right sideline, and that's going to be a pass interference by Nate, and it is. And they're just throwing these balls deep and giving them air and just hoping the Ravens get flagged. And Nate got got called for one there, and that's going to be pass interference. And what's crazy is I've actually tweeted and through tweet conversations, comments, talked with Lacey DeCosta, the wife of Eric DeCosta, our GM of the Ravens. And she even told me to, keep doing it, doing you, the people watch, and keep applying and stuff like that. And then she even a week later tweeted out something it was a week later came out the thing with Eric DeCosta and her talking about it and how, he did all this. And I was like, God, why does this hit home? And it's like I said, I still have to write up my cover letter and everything, but I'm prepping to send my cover letter and resume to a bunch of NFL teams again, with either links to my draft specials or possibly on a USB or a disc or something like that. Because again, my problem is this, why I say it's a pipe dream for me, it's almost delusional, is because while I do have some football experience playing, and such, it's not at a high enough level, in my opinion, to warrant it. And it's not long enough. I don't have a master's degree in anything, which is usually the prereq, I think, for being an NFL scout, is they want you to at minimum have a master's. I did try going back to school for sports management last year at Florida Gulf Coast University, FGCU. Little swing pass out going left, and going to bring the Giants at least into a third and manageable with 7:20 here. Payo says, Dolphins trying to save their season. I know, right? Alex says, I need a Derrick Henry. You must be in the playoffs and need those fantasy points. And they're showing right there the injury bug for the Giants. More players out. Nunez, Roches, the defensive lineman. Flott, another cornerback out. John Runyon, who's probably going to be a starter guard, out. Drew Lock. I think the Drew Lock injuries he didn't want to play because they skipped him on the roster. I'm going to be honest. Like Baked Bean says, this time just to chew clock and get on out of here. Get that ice bath ready. And high throw right this time and no catch. 4th and 3. What did Randy Moss famously say to Julian Edelman, warm up. What did he say? Like warm up my bath or something like that? Edelman, warm up my bath. Donna says, I covered the Carolina Hurricanes and knew nothing about the NHL. I learned fast. And see, that's what I'm saying. I wrote that in my cover letter to the Everglades hockey team. I was like, that's pretty cool, though. Donna, I grew up in South Carolina. I grew up in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So the Carolinas is like my second home and second team. And, deep ball to Nabers. And, that's going to be close. He had it, but he bobbled. They're saying touchdown. Of course, all touchdowns are reviewed by the NFL, but honestly, not a bad ball. They're just throwing deep shots, and I think teams are about to take notes on the Ravens that you can just take these deep shots like this. Your resume should include a tape. Should it include a tape? What's funny is I actually just got a letter of denial from actually the Boston Red Sox, because where I live is where spring training is for the Boston Red Sox and the Minnesota Twins. So during spring training time, my town is wild because there's a lot of MLB people in the area. I actually applied for a job with the Boston Red Sox because I can walk to Little Fenway, honestly. I'm that close to Little Fenway, into their player development program. Because again, I have played at a high level in a certain sense. I do still work out. My degree is in health science, mostly in applied science like physics and chemistry, though. But I did do a lot. I basically did everything to prep for my original major at Horry Georgetown was nuclear medicine technician. So I do have a certain degree of the health and physical side, anatomy, physiology, I'm going to mispronounce it, kinesthesiology, which is muscle movement science, essentially. Michigan's actually got one of the best programs in the country at that, actually, believe it or not. But, so I was like, I feel like this is possibly a good fit for me. Again, this is even less about baseball and more about just watching film and trying to find the certain key movements to focus on. And, let me get this guy out of here. Put user in timeout. But Donna says, I don't have a master's. I just always had the desire. That's all you need. And see, another position I applied for the Ravens last year, of course, I got the denial email for, was they were looking for people that just were doing film study, essentially. They needed people to do film study. And, of course, I was like, yeah, let's. That's definitely something. I think they were almost looking for more remote work as well, which I'm going to go ahead and pick the winner in this because I think we know the Ravens are going to win. And if not, I will go and award points to anyone that picked the Steelers. But I think it's a sure win at this point for the Ravens. And honestly, I truly want to say I appreciate anyone and everyone who's coming out, hanging out with us today for this stream, for this game. Whether you're on the Giant side or the Ravens side, I truly hope you enjoyed the experience. If you did it, make sure you let me know certain things that you may not have liked. Feel free to openly critique in our chat. Of course, here on the channel, we do every Ravens broadcast for the rest of the season and, of course, the playoffs. We do a pick'ems every Wednesday night in honor of our late great friend Corey Davis, who was a 49er fan. We're joined usually every Wednesday here on the channel by a bunch of 49er and other content creators that, we do like a weekly pick'ems kind of deal. Every Friday night, we do an adult humor show called Jackbox Gaming, where we play adult humor style shows. It's one of those ones we're just kicking back at the end of the week, having a drink and trying to have fun. Definitely not safe for work type of content, comedy. So buyer beware. And then, of course, in the off season, we're going to have a lot of draft and what we call the off season plans coming up. And good return here. And that's Ali, the running back out of Marshall, the 5th round pick by the Ravens, but we've got a flag on the play. 6:29 left here in the 4th quarter. I have contacts. I'd love to help you. I mean, hit me up. If you've got contacts with the Ravens, definitely let me know. That's for sure. Payo says, my only criticism of your stream is you didn't talk about Tim Boyle more. You're not wrong, though. I should have talked about Tim Boyle more. I know the eternal struggle is the struggle, I feel like, of gamecast and analyzation, while also integration and engagement of the with audience members as well. It's a constant struggle back and forth in a sense. Like, apply to local radio stations, and I've been thinking about that. I actually was, Donna, a while ago offered a potential to write for a guy that runs a website with a bunch of writers for the Ravens that covers the Ravens. I'm not going to say it out loud, but a lot of people, watch, read, and and Ali, the rookie, looks like he's gonna be getting some carries here. Devontae Walker in there again for the Ravens, and Lamar is done for the day. So no more Lamar Jackson. He's done for the day. Tim Boyle threw his 5th touchdown in his career since 2019. Payo coming in with the facts. Basically there was a guy, and this guy and his writers constantly appeared to be taking stuff like, I wasn't a writer, but I would leave like 3-paragraph long, in-depth analysis and comments. And a lot of Raven people did like what I did this. They left a lot of comments. It was really good engagement. But then I quickly found that often, not too long after I did this, or I would go to our group and I would post this, like I said, like a 3-paragraph in-depth argument, and then the moderators wouldn't post it. It would hold by moderators for like forever or never get released. And then like 3 days later, the moderators, who are also the authors for the group and the net or website, would then literally print an article with my words verbatim in it, even though what I was saying was often sometimes going against what they had been in previous conversations. And of course, like, there was some stuff that I knew was 100% my content. And I actually addressed the guy, the owner of the website and the publishing, and I said, hey, your writers, here's the post, here's what they said. Like, they are clearly just copywriting what my opinion, my takes, and everything that I'm doing, in a sense. Which, okay, whatever, but at the same time, man, like, it's really dirty and grimy. And he apologized, and like I said, he actually offered me the opportunity to write for the website and everything, which, again, bravo, congrats to him. Gentleman move, like, absolutely gentleman, professional move by him. And I deeply thought about it for a while. I discussed it with my girlfriend, and then I ultimately decided not to, though. I will admit, writing is generally something that I don't enjoy. It's always been a trait. Even I scored well in the SAT writing section. I scored damn well in the SAT writing section. But I generally don't enjoy writing. Mark out too. Like I said, I kind of have a feeling he might be Mon. But considering that Kolar, the third string tight end, went to IR, he might still just have to play some snaps. Donna says, edit a 5-minute tape of your streams. And you live in Baltimore right now. Donna, next time I come up there, I'm going to have to hit you up. I actually, 2 years ago? I drove the 20-something hours from where I lived way down in the southern tip of Florida all the way to Baltimore to go to the training camp at M&T Bank Stadium. This is how devoted I am to my team. I drove the entire trip myself. My girlfriend is passenger princess. I almost never asked my girlfriend to ever, ever, ever drive. So I drove the 20-something hours. Basically, I stopped in my hometown, saw some friends, got lunch, and then continued the drive. Got there. I did the entire drive back, but the entire drive back, it was when Baltimore was having a heat wave. I ended up with borderline 2nd-degree burns. When I was driving back home to Florida, I was having to crank the AC and wear jackets and put blankets over my arms so my arms didn't burn more. I will double check for that on you, LaRon, and whoever else was asking. Let me double check here. But yeah, I ended up with like second degree burns watching. Okay, good stuff. Let's see. I'm double checking here. Ali, Bateman, Wallace, Devontae Walker, Jones is in at left tackle. Ricard's. I don't think Zay or Andrews is in, guys. I see Ricard. He lined up at the starting tight end position. They've even got Jones in at left tackle. Lamar's not in. Henry and Hill aren't in. So I don't even know if is Linderbaum in. Voorhees is in, so I don't even know if Linderbaum's in there. So Ravens have a lot of backups in there right now. So I don't think Zay or Mark are in. So that's probably the end of it here. I'm so sorry, my boy. I'm so sorry. I know you were counting on him, on. I know you were. That's so rough. And that's like they're saying, Ravens could still win the division, which would hopefully give us a little bit of that home field advantage. 99% of the time, I'm the driver, so I hear you. The drive home, because again, I stopped it at home. I left home or Baltimore at 2 a.m. I got into Florida at 3 a.m. the next day. Because of like how long I stopped, I had to load up stuff at my house, like, and then I had to like go see my girlfriend's family and stuff like that and load up stuff, pack up the car, with stuff like that. I basically did 25 hours of driving and moving on the way back from Baltimore with second degree burns. I had almost never been so exhausted in my life. I was like, y'all should have seen me, man. And sacked on the play and going down. I'm not gonna lie, by the time I hit Tampa and I still had like 2 hours left on this drive to get home, I was like rocking in my seat, bro. I was like slightly going crazy from like driving for almost 24 hours at that point, or being up for 24 hours straight. Fun fact about me too, I've always been, when I drive and do long distance drives, I love to drive dead middle of the night. My friends used to joke, the job that I passed up on that would probably have been my calling was truck driving. Just because I sit there, I roll with the trucks at night. It's my favorite time to drive. Because also, I'm not a speeder. You'll never catch me speeding, man. There ain't no point in speeding. I'll do maybe that 5 to 7 over, but that's about it. Like, if you in a rush to get somewhere, you mismanaged your time. 3rd and 15, handoff up the middle, a little draw play as the Ravens are content, making sure no one gets hurt here. And with the 4th down, of course, punt team's coming out for the Ravens. 4:30 left in this game as we're probably going to see one final drive here from the Giants. Got to show something. Show some heart here. Let's take a look across the NFL. 3:30 left in the Jacksonville Jaguars versus New York Jets game. Jacksonville up 22-17, but the Jets do have the ball. Dallas up 27-7 on the Carolina Panthers. Carolina has the ball with 9:13 left, so they would need almost a miracle. Oh, we've got a good game in Houston. 20-12, Houston hanging on to a narrow lead over the Miami Dolphins. 1-score game, but Houston has the ball with 4 minutes and 50 seconds left. New Orleans clawing their way back. They're down a single score, 20-17 with 6:13 left in the 4th quarter. And I'd say it's still all but over in Tennessee. Bengals still lead 31-14. And Cleveland showing some signs of life. Like Peo Time said earlier, got a score. They're still down, though, 21-17 against the Kansas City Chiefs. Halfway through that 4th quarter, 7:57. I think I heard Peo ask earlier if I was going to cover the Pittsburgh versus Philadelphia game. I am not actually. Me and the girlfriend, we booked tickets to go see Ben Brennard, the comedian, tonight at a comedy club. Do like dinner and a show, comedy club style. I've heard he's not that great of a stand-up comedian, but if he did a table or a series called The Table during COVID, playing like role-playing different states and, news and stuff going on. It got very extremely popular, really was game-changing for him. And fair catch here at the 18-yard line. So Flag coming out here. Giants going to have a long field. Oh, Cardcast says Mahomes is hurt. What? What? Hold on. I got to go to NFL.com immediately. Oh, my God. Oh, we're going to get an NFL update? Nope. Oh, is Aaron Rodgers about to score and take the lead back? Oh, look at this throw to Devontae Adams just to seam up the middle. And Devontae's in with 320. And the Jets are going to take the lead back over the Jaguars. It's not over in Jacksonville. Let's see here. I'm trying to get on NFL to check up on the news here. And pass batted down on the line of scrimmage. That's Brent Urban. Let me see. Azo said, yeah, last time I went to Baltimore, I did the drive there and back. I'm not in Tampa, but I understand. Yeah, the thing is, man, I'm in Southwest Florida. I am like, it takes almost 12 hours just to get out of this fucking state, bro. I am so down in Florida. I am in the Everglades. I can walk to Everglades. I could probably walk to Everglades National Park. Azo, I speeds up one time, got an 800 ticket, and that's... Let me see here. Oh, Boyle escaping a sack. He's scrambling. Oh, and smart decision to slide instead of taking a big hit. And that's going to count as a sack. 3rd and long here. Yeah, I got my day license when I was still 15 because timing-wise it lined up, and I made sure to stay on top of everything to get my day license. I've had my day license since I was 15. I'm 34 years old now. I had one speeding ticket when I was 16, and I got let off with a warning. I have never had a speeding ticket since. I have never had an accident. I have an almost perfect driving record. And I have done multiple cross-country drives. I have done so many cross-country trips. Your boy has pulled trailers through Hurricane Sandy from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina to Grove City, Ohio. I've driven 26-foot box trucks across the country. Like I said, my secret calling was to be a truck driver, apparently. And I'm trying to get the information. Left ankle injury. He's getting taped up now. Oh. I know. I was trying to get an update on it, see if there was anything else going on. Like, oh, Jalen's got a broken finger, too. Jalen Hurts. And Boyle throwing in tight coverage. And oh my God, are you serious on that flag right there? And that's going to be on Desmond King, but that's yeah, he's serious, Donna. Spot foul, automatic first down, and Harbaugh just like looking over there like, come on. Let's watch. Oh, that's the most garbage pass interference call I've ever seen in my life. Weak. They're like, we got to keep the game competitive and fun. I know. I'm waiting for it to flash across my screen. I've got NFL Game Center over here on the right side. 2:20 left on the clock here. Little rollout left here. Boyle's going deep, and that's intercepted by our Darius Washington as the Ravens finally get a turnover. And trying to return it down at what looks like the 22-yard line. So Ravens defense is going to go celebrate in the end zone. And with 2:08, the Ravens get another chance to extend the lead here. But, should be looking for some knees. And Giants fans, they've got 2-11 brown paper bags on their heads as the Giants fans are heading for the exit at MetLife Stadium right now. My God, is the stadium emptying out right now. Graham Gano, he did not make a field goal, but he made a PAT, I believe. At least I think so. Yeah, pretty sure it was a PAT. And, the Giants, dude. I cannot believe the Giants did what they've done this season. There's cameras are showing. They're all heading for the sideline. Ravens just need to run one time, get the 2-minute warning, and then basically just kneel the ball.
and Ali maybe a yard on the play. And that's going to be the 2-minute warning here as we're counting this down. But yeah, not covering any of the other games today because me and the girlfriend, we have a date night tonight. Like I said, going to this comedy club where like they serve dinner with a show kind of deal. They've had so many comedians come through that like you actually see some of the smaller people, you'll actually see like there are a lot of clips from this comedy club because it's been a comedy club that's been around for 20 years. And where we live, there's the Hertz Arena, there's the Barbara Mann Auditorium, which the Hertz Arena literally is hosting Kevin Hart this Tuesday. Barbara Mann's got another really famous person coming soon. Both like around me, there are so many, and it kills me because if for those that don't know, I am a huge comedy fan. I've got to catch up on a few that are either getting like not Tom Segura, Nate Bargatze. I think on Christmas Eve has a comedy special coming out. At one point, I could say I had watched every single comedy special in English on Netflix, and I'd even at that point started watching some of the non-English comedy specials. I love comedy, so it breaks my heart sometimes that there are so many big comedians that constantly come here that I just don't have any. Case in point, Daniel Tosh. A lot of people don't know this. Like last year, he actually did a very small tour called the Florida is Trash Tour, which he did some shows in Cali and Florida, and I think that's it. And I didn't have money to go to that show, so I was Azo. Yeah, I've only gone to one comedy club before in my entire life, and it was because this lady invited me to go that from work, and I was like, sure. And then I found out like she was dealing like midlife crisis, like her daughter got married, and like it was a small wedding that like not even families were invited to. So like the lady was crushed because it had always been her dream to like, give her daughter away and have that wedding. And of course, like it was like almost kind of taken away from her. I think what its situation was, it was a very religious family. I think they gotten pregnant. Of course, they're not even supposed to have premarital sex. So I think they wanted to get married before like she started really showing the pregnancy and like, all that stuff. So like there was like a reason behind it all. But like she was like crushed having a midlife crisis. So like, I have not seen actually any update on it yet, which is weird. So, and of course, she started getting too drunk, and we like kind of got kicked out, but like we were about to get kicked out, and I was like, "Come on, Mama D, let's get you out of here. Let's get you an Uber home." Like, basically, and like on my way out, like apologizing to everyone, to the comedian. I ran it, and then of course, once I got her into an Uber and got her on the way home, I ran into like one of the guys who was the opening show outside the comedy club. He's sitting there just having a cigarette, kind of watching. And I kind of explained to him what was going on, apologized to him again. I'm like, it doesn't give her a reason to do it, man. But, and he's like, yo, that is some like messed up shit. And I'm like, I know, man. I know. Like, feel free to put it in a comedy show. Ooh, you heard Carson Wentz is going in? Holy shit. I'm still waiting for it to like flash across like either ESPN, Sleeper, NFL. Like I'm still waiting to see it, but I don't doubt you, CarCast. I know we're having actually a really good stream today, and of course y'all are the ones that are the reason for it. Ali got the first down, and that's the game. Ravens are gonna go ahead and probably kneel the ball for the rest. All right, let me go to ESPN. Maybe ESPN's got something about it sooner. Azo said, all right, brother, I got to start cooking dinner. I'll catch you next time. I appreciate you, Azo. You're my boy always. Azo's one of those guys who's been a member for so long. Like, eventually, if I ever hit it big, Azo going to get a paycheck, bro, one day. All right, I don't want the fantasy home. I just want, like, football home from ESPN. Can I do that? I guess not. Come on, ESPN. Give me an update. Oh, I might have just missed it on the TV. And Ravens kneel. That's the game. I'm trying to get over there and see if I can see what's going on with Carson. I'm not Carson Wentz. Mahomes. Hey, touchdown, Tyjae Spears. Let's go. I needed that in fantasy football. I still haven't seen anything about it. I'm looking. Levis benched after 3 interceptions. Fins, Dubas stretchers off, taken to the hospital. DeVito exit with concussions. Ertz leaves with a concussion. Crosby needs ankle surgery. Bengal Hubbard for the Bengals injures his knee on a touchdown catch. I haven't seen anything about it actually yet, but I don't. David said they didn't execute the player that hit King Mahomes, which is surprising. Dude, that's crazy. How wild it would be Mahomes suffer. But if y'all don't remember, Mahomes' ankle was absolutely destroyed the year he lost to Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl. Now, of course, he was running for his life that Super Bowl. Both his starting tackles were out. But if y'all don't remember, his ankle was taped up like crazy, bro. They were shooting his ankle up with cortisone every week. So don't let it fool you, man. Don't let it ease you into a sense of relaxation and comfort that Mahomes is hurt. We can win. Don't let him fool you. Don't let him fool you. It's an act. He's flopping like soccer. I'm kidding, of course. I hope Mahomes is okay, but with that though, Ravens great win, 28-7. It's always great to get a win, but of course, as a true fan, we had a lot of, realistic expectations. This was a game that, of course, we expected out of the Ravens flock to win. Of course, no game in the NFL is a given. It's a competitive league. Always feels good to get the dub. But this was a team that was struggling. We were coming off a bye week. The injuries, especially after even, DeVito goes down with the concussion. It was an expected win. Honestly, I would have loved to have seen a cleaner football game and an even more dominant win. But, you got to be happy sometimes with what you get. You can't, always wish and want for more. Hopefully everyone's healthy. Everyone gets out of this game. To the Giants fans, if y'all are still around, welcome in, Sponge. We're getting ready to close it on down. Good luck in your game against the Steelers. We got a lot of Ravens fans in here right now rooting for the Eagles here later at 4. But to the Giants fans, I truly wish your organization the best. You've got bright spots in guys like Nabers, Wandell, Tyrone Tracy, some of the offensive line as well. I saw good things out of. Burns had some sacks. You've got some highlights. So Giants fans, it's not everything is, in the dumpster yet. But I truly hope in this offseason, and again, if you're a Giants fan, make sure you hit that subscribe button. In the offseason, eventually we will have what's called the offseason plan coming out, where I run through not all 32 teams, but I'm going to run through a lot of teams where I put on my GM cap and we rebuild that team and get your team in the best place it can be, not only for that draft, but the next few years. We're going to be covering the New York Giants just because I like covering teams that are on the bottom side of the spectrum. It's going to be a good one, that's for sure. Eli Chapman is amazing. Again, really appreciate every single one of y'all for coming, hit that like button, subscribe button, hanging out with us, watching this stream. I wish every single one of y'all the best in your fantasy football. If you're trying to get into the playoffs or if your playoffs started today, make sure you come back for us. We got a bunch of different stuff going on the channel. Honestly, we had a way better stream than I thought we were going to have today, than we've had in our past few streams. Y'all keep me coming back. I love the love and encouragement I get from y'all. And if your team hasn't played today, like Sponges, Eagles, I wish you the best, and I hope you win your game today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend. I'm going to go eat a quick snack and get ready for this comedy show later that I'm going to with my girlfriend. With that,